about. I'm going to start the recording again, which means I'll have to compile the first half and the second half, and we'll send you the video soon. Okay, I've hit the record button again, and let's go back and take a look at that header information. You wanted basics, so I'm going to look at the basics first, and then we jump into the other aspects. Okay, so you're looking at that header, and header had from name and from email ID, subject line, pretext, and the button that you keep active for people to take an action on, because you don't really send out emails for information, but you want some action to be performed, and that action is a call to action button. If one clicks on that button, they're being led to the landing page, and that's where the actual conversion happens. Either you're asking them to fill up a form, or you're asking them to download a page and then give out just the email. Whatever that action is, you are likely to do using a call to action button on the template. Okay, now what are the other basics that you want to take a look at? Well, for in order to send out an emailer, you got to have a platform. You got to have a tool. You got to have a tool to execute the campaign out. And what type of tools are we likely to be working on? Like, for example, can I use a Gmail and send out a Gmail, send out mass mailing? Can I use a Hotmail to send out mailers, large one to many emailers? I mean, not one to one to many emailers. If I send them, what are the challenges that I will encounter? So let's go back and take a look at that piece of element. This is part of your template and the design. Now let's go back. If I were to get a similar template and use a Gmail account, will I be able to do one to many communication, one to many broadcast or communication? Can I communicate with many people using a Gmail account?Hat's your take? Can I simply use a Gmail account and send out an email? We can, but from the same community. Thank you very much. Okay, I need a little more brief on what the community is. Maybe a little. I guess there's a limit. That's what I studied earlier. Okay, is what Jitin is saying. Uh, there's a lot of limit, man. Rife says, yeah, because he's in business already, and digital side is what he's helping. I'm sure he must have done this, tried it, and he says there's a limit. And I want to know, what is the same community? So, did you mean a group? We got to group up people together inside a group, and then you do a group messaging. Yes, but it will be a manual and not efficient kind of an approach you take to talk to many. Good job. Yeah, very well said. Community in the lines of within an organization. Okay, right? Good thought. Good thought. That's the second part of the community part. So, in case if you're wondering what the community means, it means it has to be a single organization, like it may be a group of people within an organization. That's perfectly fine. Is what Ajitesh says. Yes, Raif again. He says maybe we should use a platform like MailChimp. What's MailChimp? A tool, a platform. Okay, so that's what he's indicating, saying maybe a platform like MailChimp. But we'll come to the platforms, yeah, only when we know that we can't really use Gmail. Yeah, if there is a system for available for free, I mean, I'm sure MailChimp will also give you for free. But an unlimited email going out of Gmail, if it is all for free, why would I hunt for a paid account? Okay, there must be some logical reasoning as to why one goes and picks up a platform to do the work. Nikita pointed out, some other, most important element: time. We can't sit down and compose emails. For example, let's go to a Gmail account here, hit the compose button, and then you say whatever you want to say here to, or you will say blind carbon copy, BCC. You hit the blind carbon copy and you drop a list of emails. It's actually going to a real person as well. Imagine, turn on your imagination and think that these are all email addresses. Now, is this what you want to do in 2018? Is what Nikita is indicating. So this is going to be more tedious. It's going to be a lot more efforts involved in here to manually shoot them. And also, how about cutting and pasting that template again? So, for example, let's go get that template guy. So here, copy this, come back here, and tell them. No, it doesn't copy that like the way we do. So let's go back one more time. copy as JPEG, and now you do this cutting and pasting. Not in 2018, Nityanand. Get me back, get me back here. Look at this, and the picture comes in, and it might not even be optimized to different platforms like Outlook or Yahoo. Using an email service provider, same purpose, would be the time efficient. Thank you so much, job well done, both of you. And I'm sure for the new ones, you know why a platform is required. That Rife is saying that we need a platform. Okay. And he also made a mention, the other mention was not in 2018, Nityanand. Get me back into shape here. Don't allow me to go and do that same practice that we adopted in the year 2005 when Gmail came into picture, and then further on we started spamming left, right, center. Yeah, spamming meaning, we'll come to that word called spamming in a bit. For now, just know that if it's a Gmail communication, it's too much of manual efforts. B, it is definitely not warranted. You got to make sure that you save the time. Yeah. The three, you wanted to make sure that it is all going effortlessly, not too much time spent, and you need an email service provider who provides you with a platform. I'm coming there, Vivek. Not yet. Stay there with us. You need an email service provider, ESP, right? Now you got to get that in, and only then you'll be able to do the magic. Okay, are there any other reason for me to not to use Gmail? Think. You've given me some of those ideas as to why a Gmail would not be an ideal way to do it. Any other reasoning? Platform integration or showing up or rendering up very well. Like you design a particular template, it should show up very well on your Android device. It should show up very well on your iOS device. Will it be really done well like that, or is it going to really show up bad on an Apple iWatch? We don't know. Okay, scheduling we can't do. Thank you very much. But there are plugins which actually say or promise that they will do the job, send later kind of message. You could do that as well. Yeah, easy for customers to move it into spam folder if the visibility is not too good. Shri Shri Rama. Awesome. Awesome. And good morning. I think we missed you. Yeah, this is a brilliant way of saying it. Look at that. Easy for customers to move that into spam if your designing really is out of shape. Yeah, because today we got to make sure that we communicate well. And if you're not really communicating well using your designs, using your colors, and using your words, you don't stand a chance to be in their inbox. Okay, people move that into spam folder. Will that be an effect for us? We'll come to that later. But for now, just know basic in terms of not to use a Gmail. Why? Getting your own email address and a company looks a lot more professional. Super. Good shot. Again, you're talking to many. Why? For business purpose. What's business in turn? Well, profit, dollars. And in business, there's a thumb rule. Unless you invest money, there's no expectation of returns. Nothing is for free. Yeah, you can invest $100 and expect 1,000. Perfectly fine. There is absolutely no trouble in that sort of an expectation. But no investment and expecting something out, including your manpower. Yeah, it's not always money, right? You can always invest time. You're investing time and you're expecting something out of it. Perfect. But again, not when it comes to business. So you got to make sure that there is capital amount that you put in, and then you expect out of the capital amount a certain percentage. Vivek, my internet is perfectly fine, and I'm sure there will be a lot of people to vouch on this. If I hear four people say that there is a problem, I probably will jump out again. Next time when there is a shift in the voice, you got to make sure that you count five, four, three, two, one, and then you say magic. It will happen, right? The voice will come back. That's go to meeting. Welcome aboard. Okay, so let's go and take a look at the some of the interesting point of views that you guys brought in. Awesome, very well done. And I think that those are some of the reasons why we don't really use a Gmail platform or a compose manually composing every email, sending out an email. To summarize this, here we go. Template design or optimization challenge. Optimization with the S. These guys are UK and okay. Optimization challenges. And then there is, of course, manual efforts. uh, Too much. And you can also see that there is email company, yeah, company professional, look professional, is what Jitin said. Look professional. Don't look like a Gmail account, and anyone can have a Gmail account. So is a hacker, so is a preacher, so is somebody trying to get into your inbox for various other reasons, right? So anyone can prefer to pick up a Gmail and write on that. But if you're a professional, please look professional, is what we said. But we also missed another biggest element, which was which is what I was waiting for. This part, tracking. We can send limited emails, one to one. We can send limited, absolutely, because there's analytics. Thank you very much, isn't it? You want to find out what happened to your emailer. You send one to many. Okay, great job. Congratulations. Job well done. And what happened? Hey, that we're not sure. Because we have to track on the website, no? How many product did we sell? None. Now, out of the people you communicated, who actually opened the email? Are not sure. What kind of a marketing would that be? How many people clicked on the links? At least how many people got to open the email? Can you please tell me that? And then after people opening the email, why weren't they forced to? Why weren't they compelled to click on the links? No idea. And that no idea needs to come up with an answer, because today we are talking about data. We're looking at analytics. We're looking at data driven marketing, which means we are watching, the platform is watching in the back end to see who's doing what. Just like your Gmail earlier in the outset. Gmail is watching to find out what's your interest. What are you doing currently? What's on your mind? What are you looking for? What are you searching for? What are you aspiring to buy a house? You're talking about a dream house. Okay, now all of these are being checked on in the back end, and that's one of the reasons why there's a premium cost attached to anyone who can give you such data about an individual. Similar to maybe giving out a newspaper ad, but very low in expense. Yeah, very low in expense, but again, we have no tracking. If you ask the newspaper agency, it would say under the location HSR layout, we have about a lakh and a half readers of TOI, Times of India. But when you go back and identify out of the lakh and a half or 1.5 lakhs or 150,000 people, who exactly saw my ad? How do I know? No tracking whatsoever. And that same error, you can't bring it back into digital marketing. Digital says, we will track you down, including the kind of trackers that we're looking at here. Live internet stats. Look at these. And surprise, surprise, your investment of time, money, very, very well done. Look at the number of users currently accessing internet this particular second. Look at the number of people sending out emails this particular second. I am saying don't believe the number by just looking at these. Maybe somebody is really forcing it inside and saying, let's get attached to digital. Okay, now keeping that in mind, cut these numbers by half. Would that number be still a big number? Okay, let's consider only 25% of these numbers and say that these are the number of people who are sending out emails. Would that number stand out to give you the compelling reason saying digital works? And the answer is obviously yes, because people have started shifting from the old channels to where they are right now. Look at them on Google search right now. So there's no second thought for any business wanting to be here or not wanting to be there, because it's a mandate now. If your fishes are here, this is where you fish. Even 1% will be pretty impressive. Thank you very much. Look at that mathematician telling you the numbers. 1% will also be a very impressive number. Now, how do we get all these fishes attracted about your message? Oh, it all starts off by doing your homework. Yeah, it all starts with doing your assessment, doing your like in a logical understanding of what customers really need today. And if you could do that, I'm sure the fishes will get to see what you are trying to send out emails as. Okay, so tracking is something that is very crucial. We just tracked as to how many people are there on the web right now. Somebody's doing the tracker, not me. But we just go there and we know the numbers, and that's exactly what the empowerment is. 0.1% will also be effective. Absolutely right. I'm glad you're already doing the math there. So it's very, very crucial if we can know how to do or work around these particular, email channels. Possibilities are very high that we could get to do all of these well. Make your emails look professional, less of manual efforts. Okay, because this came in from Nikita, right? The manual effort, because she is looking at automation. She's already the AI person, artificial intelligent. Yeah, so they are already looking at platforms which can automate a lot of manual efforts. And she said earlier that she is doing some work around that particular piece. And that's no doubt that she makes a mention on the manual efforts. Templates showing up well. I think there was one individual, Nikita again, right? If it is not optimized well for different devices or different platforms, it's going to be a constraint again. Who can solve this problem? Oh, well, this is when the email service providers come into mix. ESP. Now they say, come here, guys, we'll actually help you. Now there's one more element. If you take a look at what Simarjit said, you can send a limited quantity. Yeah. So what's this limit? And what's that unlimited? Yeah, one plate. You can order one plate, but there are Andhra restaurants where you see unlimited meal. Yeah, you can eat as much as you want at that particular table, and they keep serving food after food. Yeah, you must be. I mean, next time if you don't get a chance, please come over to Bangalore. I'll take you to some places where that leaf, plantain leaf, is where they serve the food. The person never gets full. I don't know how. Yeah, your stomach is supposed to be just a wrist size, I think. But end of the day, that much of food can be consumed as well. So what's that limit, and what's that unlimited food that we're looking at? So let's go back and ask Gmail as to what it says about that limitation and the food. So let's go in here to Google and say, Google, sending limits. It has, I mean, if it is really doing the job right, it has to really give me a quick example as to what it can do and what it can't. Here we go. Let's say this is group mailing, ISP. The Gmail mail servers sending limit is approximately about 100 to about 150 emails per day. When you're connected to the server through a remote email client, which is like a software. Where did you get this from? I just typed it on Google. Okay, I move back. See, today I don't have to carry textbooks. Yeah, you have encyclopedia with you. I have an encyclopedia with you. You don't have to pay 35,000 rupees to buy A to Z encyclopedias, but you just have to just have a phone or maybe an internet. Google comes over and you can type anything on the planet and it will get you the answer. Google sending limit is what I said, and then I picked up the first link here which said the most looked upon. So I'm picking that up and I'm trying to read through to find out what it is. I also know what Gmail from the Gmail portal say, so I'm going to cross verify to see if it's really right. Here we go. You can send 500 emails each day through a Gmail SMTP server when you're logged on into an interface. Okay. The Comcast server, of course, no, we don't want to look at the other service providers. GoDaddy, of course, 250 emails. That's the restriction. So, in in simple words, if I were to really look at Gmail, here's what Gmail says. Gmail attached to Chrome, you're accessing it from Chrome, and here's what happens: 150 emails per day from Gmail, which is like your domain name, from Gmail to other domains. What is other domains? Hotmail, Yahoo, Comcast, AOL, anything that you can think of. Any other domains that you're writing to, it can be only 150 limit. Here's another: 1000 email per day from Gmail to other Gmail, other Gmail accounts. What does it mean? Vodafone to Vodafone, Airtel to Airtel, unlimited calls, no charges applied. Very similar to that offer. Here they say, well, if you're talking to from a Gmail server to another Gmail user, we will give you 1000 credits per day, but you can't go beyond this. Period. No room for discussion. No room for discussion. Are you with me? Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what Gmail has to say from a Chrome browser. Now, what if, is there any other provision that I could use a Gmail account and send more emails from my professional email ID? Gmail has a way to get your professional email ID. So if you go to Gmail, like in Google, let me quickly bring up Google here. Google, Google business email, and it allows you to actually, since it's Google, I'm sure you can go ahead and click on the PPC ad. Oh, okay, there you go. It says, "Hey, I can get you started with a private email for yourself without the at Gmail. I'll give you your own professional email. Let's get started." So you can go ahead and create your own professional email ID. And what would the limit be for such an account? Let's go back. It's called G Suite account. So Gmail professional or private ID. Example, Nithy at leadsourcing.in. Okay, that's a professional email ID. What's the limitation here? Well, the same limitation continues to happen if I'm using it on a Chrome browser or maybe connected to an Outlook interface and I'm trying to do that. Then Gmail also gives you another provision. If connected via API, which is like a platform talking to another platform, example gmas gmas mailshake or sales handy or hundreds of other softwares or any other. What's the limitation here? Nithu, Shelly will join the session from mobile. Sure, ma'am. Thank you very much. Hi. Yeah, okay. uh, All right, so I'm gonna go to any other. Sorry, that was a private chat, so I got derailed. If connected via API, GMAS, like the softwares like GMAS and Mailshake or and Sales Andy or any other platform that you can look at, the number can quickly jump from 150 to about 750 per day. Period. I'll show you both of them. I'll show you in operation all of these, and let's go back and take a look at it. How many of you understood this? Application program interface is an API. Yeah, that's like, computer to computer, software to software, talking to each other, connecting. And if you're doing that, well, you get a quick jump of 10750 emails per day rather than just looking at 150. So the interface on Chrome that you're using, limitation is very high in there. It's only 150, cannot go beyond that. Give me a heads up if this is clear. Also, please provide the audio access to her. I do not provide any audio access because by default audio access will be there. I do not provide audio access, so I don't know. The person has to enable audio by default. Thank you. I'm hoping that you understood that. Tell the person to first come inside and then we'll take care of the rest. Okay? Yeah, ask Shelly or Sally to come in first. Sally, once you come in, just give us a noise and we'll all wake up to help you. Thank you. I meant, what does it mean? Okay, sure, I'm coming there. So let's go back to Mailshake and see what Mailshake asks you to do. This is Mailshake. Okay, what it says is, I'll help you send cold emails using a Gmail account. Okay, very simple, straightforward. Cold emails. How many emails? 750 emails. Nothing more, nothing less. So I'm going to go log in. I need to create a login here. It's $19 each, and only then you will be able to. So I'm going to sign in here and take a look at how the interface works. I'm logging in using my Gmail account, and you see the mail accounts here on the left hand side. I can add any number of Gmail accounts I need. This is a G Suite account, leadsourcing.in, and this is a Gmail account, leadsourcing at gmail.com. Here's another Gmail account. I can connect as many accounts as I want, and I can use interface like these, connect my email address, and 750 is the limitation. Give me a heads up now if you understood it. Clear? That's the API or the software. Now, what these guys, Mailshake and all the others do, they directly connect my email account, which is on a Gmail, connect that to the Gmail interfaces. From there, I start mailing out. What is the advantage here? Well, A, my number goes up. I don't really need to do, worry about bulk mailing and tracking and analytics. I can take a look at all my campaigns along with the analytics within the platform. Look at them. I can go ahead and see how many people opened it, how many people did not open, how many people clicked, how many people replied back to my email, all of that assessment within the platform. So is Gmass. Yeah, Gmass charges you $10, I think. $10, and these guys are $19. I think they're $15. Yeah, Sales Andy charges you $29 per account. So you got to make sure that you choose wisely. I prefer the Mailshake guy. Mailshake guy seems to be doing the magic compared to all the others. They are all there, good branding, like the what do you call BMWs and Audi and blah blah blah. But Maruti 800 में भी काम चला सकते हैं. अगर आपका डेस्टिनेशन से इस तरफ से A से B पॉइंट जाना है, Maruti 800 भी काम करेगा. So something like that. For me, in this case, Maruti 800 is okay. I don't really need an Audi to actually come over and still send 750 emails only. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Give me a shout if this is clear, ladies and gentlemen. So I can have multiple accounts with 750 limit. Yeah, absolutely. Every email ID that you bring in, you get 750 limits. 750. And you can fly your campaigns out, and that's like a mini bulk mailing application that you get in using a Gmail account. Basics. Okay, what are the other basics that you would like to know? Okay, Hotmail, what about them? Well, Hotmail, I told you earlier, I think I've set the benchmark already. Copy paste, no? So, what is Yahoo doing? 150 emails. What is Gmail doing? 150 emails. What would Yahoo do? 150 emails. Yeah, absolutely right. Is there a way to actually increase them, enhance them? No, there is provision for you to get into a paid account, and you pay a lot more money on holding on to those emails. And there they give you provision to send out 5,000 email in a day, and not beyond that. How many accounts at the most? How many can you create using your account? So as many as you can. There's no limitations of how many you can connect them. Any number. How do we get hold of customers' email ID? Fantastic question. But unfortunately, you're in a batch which is not teaching you how to look at lead harvesting. Yeah, lead harvesting is not part of your email marketing module. Shri Ram. Last month it was. This month it is not. Yeah, how many accounts that's being answered? How would these APIs work? Only on Gmail based IDs? Only on Gmail based IDs. Only on Gmail based IDs. Yes. Only Gmail. Yes. Only G Suite or G Suite plus Gmail, which is a free account, right? Extension at Gmail. G Suite is with your private email, right? And they charge you $15 each account. Yeah, $19 to be precise on Mailshake. Let's go back there. Yeah, $19 is what they charge you. Mail and the Shake. Pricing $19. $19. Clear? That's all you need to know if you need to know the pricing. So just jump over to the site and click the pricing tab, and it'll tell you the entire history on what you need to do in order to get them. So Yahoo, the credits will never be more than 150. So is Yahoo. So is any other platforms currently jumping into the system of being providing services for you. Okay, so that's the basic norm. Let's put a full stop to that and come out and take a look at a few more. Okay, now let's do a little more work here. Sri Ram was asking you, saying, how do we get the databases of all people based on some segmentation that you approach? Now, last month I would have told you that we have a fourth module, and in the fourth module we'll show you how to do lead harvesting, right? But in your module, just last month they stopped giving you lead harvesting. So yeah, you will have to talk to DV if you want to know how you get the databases there, but I can give you a quick glimpse as to what can be done. So let's go to Google now, and I ask Google a simple question, like we asked the genie, right? Why stopped? Yeah, because you all wanted fast forward email marketing, and you wanted to complete all the courses in less than 6 months time. The fee is still the same. Yeah, but you all wanted it fast tracked, so they said we will have to cut short and let go one of the arm there, and so we had to let go the lead sourcing arm. But let's say you want to go back and reappeal. Yeah, come on, we're a democratic country. You can always go back and talk to DV and tell them saying, "Oh, chahiye mujhe." Yeah, so they will put you back again into that program, or they will send me an email saying, "Chalo yaar, activate karo." मेरा काम है दिखाना, जो दिखाना चाहते हैं उनको, आई मीन दिखाना, दिखाने के लिए बोले हैं वो ये दिखाना चाहिए, और अगर मैं कुछ वायलेशन किया तो मुझे पकड़ के मारेंगे. ओके, आई होप यू गॉट दैट. उतना ही हिंदी आता है, थोड़ा सब्र कर लो. थैंक यू. Talk to our respective trading partners. Fantastic, good job. Okay, I'm going to go to Google and say, Google, like the genie we communicate, genie. I'm looking at marketing people from LinkedIn and residing in Delhi. Okay, and I want the Gmail accounts. Could you, or maybe I want the contact details. Could you help me? And Gmail will say, yeah, sure, hold on, but you need to pass the test. So let me go back and pass the test here. Uh, yeah, this passing the test with Gmail is a little trouble. We can pass IIM exams also, but look at this. Street signs को पकड़ना है. Okay, चलो, हो गया. Click next. Street signs. Next. Um, Street signs. Oh my god. See, I told you. You can get out of an IIM exam quickly. But this guy. Ha! I'm supposed to be finding cars. Yeah, cars. But there is cars here. Fantastic. But there is no cars. There's a car here. But I will have to still click on it. Uh, who says that this is a car? Okay, anyway, there's cars here at least. Am I done? Hopefully. Oh, fantastic, I passed the exam. Click the submit button. And now, as you could see, email addresses of marketing people in Delhi, email. Marketing, Delhi, email. Marketing, Delhi, email. And it goes on. Okay, now Google, thank you so much for doing this. Could you please extract all of those details and give it out to me? Let me see what Gmail can say now. I mean, what Google can say. One line, and there you go. There you go. There you go. See that? All of those. Can you repeat these steps again? The screen is getting stuck again and again. No, the screen is not getting stuck. Like I said, this is not supposed to be done. And I'm just showing you that there is possibilities to get this done. On the fourth module, if they activate your fourth module, we will go back and see how we do this step by step and show you how to extract them as well. This is going to eat up time, and I don't have that time dedicated for this particular period in time. Are you with me, sir? Jitin, Chitesh, you guys can go ahead and take this up and tell them saying we would like this module to be handed in. We need to know how we get those emails, failing which the entire email marketing sort of email stuff that we're doing. will also be a little gap in there. So once DB gives you go ahead, we can go ahead and show you how do we do this, what's the logic behind it, how the segmentation applies, what are the rules in the game, all of that. It's called the fourth module. Fourth week. You have only 3 weeks in this game, so you need to add up another week. And if you all can, add another week into your program, nothing like it. We will show you how to get this done. Clear? Give me a heads up. Now, in the database, you got to make sure that we do segmentation. Like in segmentation, meaning understanding who the people are. Like I looked at Gmail and I said, well, I want to go and look for people from LinkedIn because I know quality data. I want to look at marketeers. And I also applied the principle of location. And I said, from the location XYZ, maybe Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, whatever, and then get that data out. Now, what I'm doing is segmentation to find out where my audience belong, what type of content I can write, and once that is ready, that means I'm doing my homework to get the database well. Now, when it comes to databases, we picked up a few email addresses from Gmail. Did I have their permission? Did I have the permission? No, absolutely not. Is it legal? Is it legal? Some questions like that comes over, isn't it? Of course, there's provision that you can pick up Google search engine and plenty of other stuff to pick up emails. But is that viable? Is that doable? Should we do it? It is legal though. Yeah. Could you please give me that brief? Fantastic. One person out of the box like me. Fantastic. Yeah, it's legal. How? Could you please throw us light? Because according to us, we need to get permission, and only then we can do the mailing. And if we don't get permission, it's not legal. How do you say that it's legal? Yes, it's legal. How? According to Can Spam Act, somebody does the homework well in advance. Great work. Lovely. Lovely shot. Good one. Good one. Good one. We'll come to this. The rest of you, don't worry. What he's doing is he's giving you the act, and he's saying that the law says it's okay. Okay. Now I need a little more brief. Make it, like in you're explaining it to a 4-year-old. How would you say that? It is legal because they have put their email address on LinkedIn, man. Nityanand. Come on, wake up. Is what Vivek is saying. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. For e-commerce web portals, focusing on the audience, students, particular in IT, how do we find such an email? Well, we have to apply some, basic principles in terms of where we are finding out. But students' information is definitely not available on the web. Some students you can find on LinkedIn. People who are a little smart in the game are already on LinkedIn, looking at how the work interface looks like. So you can still get a handful of people from LinkedIn, Srinivasan. Yeah, focusing on the audience as students in particular, we can get them out from a particular college, from a particular type of schooling they're doing, currently studying. You can apply some of those principles and get a handful of them. I'm not saying millions and thousands, but a handful to get you started, and then you can use that on Facebook to get a little more typical similar looking profiles, and that's how you start your game on digital. Yeah, okay. Now, coming back to the point in terms of the act, somebody said here that it is legal, it is viable. CanSpam Act does not have any objections on that. Absolutely right. He's calling out a rule book and he's mentioning the rule book. What's in the rule book and all of that coming up very soon for you. For now, just know if you were to put this like in a 4-year-old should understand, how would you say that? When it comes to database permission, legally, yes, we are bound, we are okay, but some people disagree with that. So there must be something there. Disagree people aren't really, being bliss, like Mr. Buddha said, ignorance is a bliss. No, they're not ignorant. They have some other data with them. What would that data be? On the screen, permission, broken down into two elements. Permission type number one, implicit. Implicit is equal to Vivek's explanation. Vivek explained. Yeah. And then the other type is called the explicit. Thank you very much. Good job. Which no one explained. So the nearest one is Ajitesh. So I'm going to go ahead and say permission type, when you're looking at databases, have two forms. One, what Vivek said here. Hey, these guys are on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is equal to public portal. They are on Google search. That means they have a website. They've SEO optimized it. They have a contact us form. They are on that portal giving out their email. They are on the forum sites. It's going to kill me.
Muted.
Sorry,
Unmuted.
my internet had to really go off. It took me out to another planet and brought me back again. Can you all hear me? Just give me one or two, three people. Could you please confirm? Sorry about this. Never happens, but I don't know. In India, I think Saturday and Sunday is typically not to work, I believe. So pretty much all the service providers do all their servicing without informing the customer as to what they do. Looks like something is happening around with my service provider too. We are now all in the same planet called the Earth. Thank you very much. Now we were looking at permission types, right? When we are looking at permission types, there are two types of permission. Number one permission is called the implicit permission. Now, what's an implicit permission? Well, if you watch carefully as to what Vivek said implicit permission meaning that these people have given permission to LinkedIn, and they said, LinkedIn, go ahead and use my data. If people are finding me or searching for similar profiles, show it up. My voice gone again? No, I think breaking should be back. This time I've connected a LAN cable. But if you want, I can turn off this as well. I've connected a LAN. Yeah, and cross verifying to see the LAN is working. Yeah, LAN is working super fast, perfectly audible. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I've turned the Wi-Fi out, so I'm sure it must sustain the connection. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. If people are on LinkedIn, if people are on search engines, if people have a website and they have a contact us form, and in the contact us form they've given people saying, get in touch with me. Okay, now that is implicit permission because a person by default goes ahead and shows up that information on the search. Like, for example, let's go to Google and search for all information related to lead sourcing. Email lead sourcing dot in. Search. Now it quickly goes ahead and looks at all of those emails and also shows up saying these are the company domains we have. These are some of the phone numbers they have. So I don't need a permission here to actually pick up that number and then call the number, because it's already saying that these numbers are by default available. You're free to actually use any of them. You would if you go searching furthermore, you will also find out email addresses, or if you go into the site itself, you'll find out email addresses of the company. Now that's called implicit permission. So if you get into the site, you have a contact us page, and in the contact us page you will have phone numbers, and that's by default somebody is calling out saying, talk to me. See that? Nithy at leadsourcing.in is an email ID. Now, I don't need a written permission from this person to write an email to him. If there is a written consent like that, he shouldn't be actually holding on to those emails on the website. And it shouldn't be SEO optimized to find out. And now it is SEO optimized, and I'm landing up into the site, and I can pick up that and start talking. Implicit permission type, which is what Vivek was explaining. Okay, what about the explicit? Implicit is also visiting cards. All right, if you're going into a trade show, conferences where you meet a lot of people, exchange visiting cards, you don't really take written consent there. Next time when you're in UK, you better take a written consent. But for now, looking at the can spam or US side of it, well, you don't really need to. You can gather those visiting cards and come back and compile those emails and start sending out emails to those people, and that's called implicit. Explicit is they want you to sign up with a written consent. Written consent only. Period. No room for discussion. Which means they want you to go ahead and give them a form, tell the customer what you're going to be doing with their email, ask the customer to pick the button and say, yes, we would like to be signing up to this portal. For example, click on the register button, and you will see that Quieto is going to be using this information that you provide to be in touch with you and provide updates and marketing. You may request removal or whatever you want to really go out and pull off your records, you could do that. But for now, just be sure that we will be using this for marketing purposes. And when you click the button saying I understand, you concur that I will be used, or I'm not going to be surprised when an email arrives if I sign up to this particular website. Written consent. And of course, GDPR, welcome. You're 1 day old on GDPR. Yesterday, launch date. Today we are 1 day old on GDPR. What's GDPR and what's CAN spam compliance? Coming shortly. For now, just know permission types are two different variations. Number one variation is called implicit permission. The second variation is called explicit permission. Implicit meaning anything that's found on the search engine, anything that's publicly available, anything that you went to a trade show and you picked up a visiting card. Implicit. Explicit, where you sign up a form and you give out the consent saying that I am going to be expecting emails out of you or from your company. Explicit. Explicit is clearly written consent by a specific person or for a specific purpose, and that's what most of them actually click the radio buttons and they sign up. A quick shout, everybody okay? Basics 2018. Clear. Okay. Now, the database, you know the story. I'm sure you will go and talk to them as well, and then come back and we will show you how to get the database. If not, you're looking at sign up forms coming in, you're creating content on the blog or your site or your Facebook page, and you're getting people to sign up to your portal. And that's how you obtain the databases. Srinivasan has a very different perspective about databases. I'm sure we will go ahead and fuel all of that interest once I have a word with DV, and then we will go ahead and see how we can manage that. The next element, after you get the database, you need to prepare a template. You saw the previous one from Acids, what do you call the realtor group. That was a template that we looked at earlier. But you definitely need a message. We need to draft them. We need to create call to action buttons. We need to make sure that this particular link is activated to move to your website. How do we do that, and when do we do that? Well, we do all of that on the third module. On the third module. On the third module. We will sit down, create a MailChimp account, ESP. We'll talk to MailChimp because this guy gives you free. Rife knows the game. Yeah. We talk to MailChimp and we get that account created. We show you how to design a template. We show you how to create call to action buttons, and we kick the campaign out. Okay, so that's the third one. What's on the first and the second then? Any guesses? Any guesses? First is already creating the basics. So we already have started looking at the basic one. What about the first and the second? Beyond that, first and the second module, we'll discuss challenges and how to overcome. And how to overcome. So, those who are looking at the content here, here's a quick insight. This is exactly how you're venturing in. So far, the content looked very clear because you already knew a lot of stuff there because it was normal, broader, and it's going to go in right here. So now the basic is done. You know the basics. You know what's a header. You know how a template looks like. You know what's a click. You know how a call to action button is going to be looking into taking you to the site. You know why we need an email service provider. You know the limitations with common Gmail accounts and all the other public accounts you have. You know how you can overcome those challenges as well if you really want to write on a Gmail using an API like Mailshake, or maybe connecting with another software like Gmass or Sales Handy. You can get the job done with the basic. So you can get started right now, unplugging yourself, saying, okay, now we'll use those and let's start rolling out campaigns. But surprise, surprise, stay with me. You're looking at the basics there. That's done. There's some more of the new basics that you'll have to learn. The broader version, I think it was a common understanding what happened in your class 1 and class 2, like in UKG, LKG, 1 standard, 2nd standard to 10th standard. Job done. You're graduating furthermore into a little more narrow down subject, and you will further go down today, right now with me. And it's going to get a little more suffocated right here because there's no oxygen supply, and it's a very narrow, thin line that only one can pass out from that particular line. But my answer is, if you were to just open up your softwares like Observation, Curiosity, these are all applications by default installed by God. Yeah, I believe in creation, not evolution. So yeah, by default God installed these applications inside you. Turn them on, put them to use, and that's all I need in order to navigate you in that little speck. And I will make sure that you will walk out comfortably and you will be known as an expert for email marketing very soon. That's where we will be spending our first module and the second module. In order to understand challenges, here's what Einstein says. If you're looking at a problem, Nityanand, or if you're trying to, play as a solution provider, let's say this is how the mass looks like. The general client situation. Client has money, no time. If anyone who has time, they don't really need service providers, right? So we are looking at clients who have no time and also have very limited knowledge about a particular subject. So you gain knowledge and stand an inch taller than the client, an inch taller than the client, and you can really know what the problems are from both the ends, from the past to the future. You will be able to gauge them. My question is, how does an interface on email marketing look when you're going to be looking at it from a macro level? Or like an eagle, you fly over the landscape and see the entire channel through a landscape. How does it look like? Come with me. Oh, sorry, the suspense वाला screen वहाँ पे नहीं है. एक मिनट आ गया मैं. सस्पेंस को थोड़ा हटा दिए हैं, तो मैं थोड़ा सस्पेंस क्रिएट करता हूँ. ठहरिए. ये मूवी मेकिंग बहुत बड़ा काम है. या आई रियलाइज दैट. स्टोरी टेलिंग, नरेटिंग, tough time. Okay, finally I've given that particular shield there, and there you go. Screen is stuck. No, not really. Yeah, it will be. Yeah, now open. Do you see that? Okay. What we were discussing so far is that we need an email service provider. volumes, because email service providers allow you to give a platform. They allow you to create a template. They give you statistics. They give you statistics in terms of who opened your email, who clicked on your email. To give you a little more statistics perspective, let's go back and see one of the panels here. Okay, so I'm getting inside and probably shift to another client. Stay with me. Yeah, I'm going to look at this particular client here and take a look at what happened with their emails. Well, the total size of database that they executed, and you can see how many people opened, how many people bounced. What's a bounced? I mean, clicked, I understand. What's a bounced? People open the email, perfect. But what is a bounce? Why are they bouncing? Any idea? Educated guess. Educated guess. Wrong email ID. They don't do anything. Oh, I wish that particular analytics should be there as well. Yeah, did not reach the destination folder. Awesome, very nice, very good guesses. Oh wow, this is exactly what I said. What are you saying? We could beat up any new techniques that we want to learn. Let me quickly bring this up. Look at this insight. Oh, I haven't seen an explanation like this. That's why I'm taken aback. Yes, we can open it. Wrong email ID. Very good guess. It could be a wrong email ID. Maybe this is prior knowledge. But this is absolutely an awesome guess here. They don't do anything with our email. Yeah. They don't take any action. They don't click on it. They don't review it. They don't really do anything. And they're just keeping it right there. Look at this one. It did not reach the right destination. So we had a destination in mind and it did not make it there. But that's future. If you're a service provider and if you get a job there as a service provider, I'm sure this particular thought is not in the industry right now. There is no analytics to find out how many of them, did not make it to the right destination. Charge me less, but make me know how many people did not reach the desired destination. Now, the desired destination could be inbox, isn't it? Destination, inbox. They did not make it. Since they could not make it to the destination, give me an analytics. Not there, sir. Not there. We have to do a lot of homework, and I think people like you who are thinking should get into the service providers, product developers, come up with a solution like that. Did not get the email at all. Look at this. Awesome. They did not get my email at all. Yeah, very well understood in terms of bounces. Look at that. We are just making a random guess on what a bounce could be. Incoming email was rejected by the server. This is a technical explanation again from the same person who actually gave you a version saying it did not reach the destination, guys. And Vivek again says, well, it could be because the email ID wasn't the right one, or it was not accepted by the receiver and hence it bounced. It may be that the customer opened it and immediately realized that it is a useless email. uh, I'm starting to like your group. Useless email promo and promotion, and then came out immediately, and that could be analyzed as well. Awesome, good one, good one, good one. Okay, now is that the case? Let's go back and do some logical test here. This is my sending email service provider. Without them we may not be able to send. Okay, now this is just Raj, directly out of experience, calling out the numbers. Here we go. This is sending email service provider. ESP is equal to email service provider. Vivek gave you that explanation earlier. He's been very helpful helping the trainer. He's my co-trainer, I think. Jatin, Ajitesh, Nikita, who are the other? Jashraj, Srinivasan only occasionally, Shashi when required. Uh, yeah, these are the only ones. Nikita, Ajitesh, Jitin. Raif comes in whenever required. He's a fast bowler. He doesn't really talk much, but he does. But the rest of you, whoever is actually pinging, like Vivek seems to be my coordinator. He's my co-trainer, by the way. Just in case if you guys are wondering who's Vivek. He's my co-trainer with a lot of experience, 20 plus years, and I'm sure I'm going to take his help as well. Here's my receiving email service provider. Receiving email service provider. Now anything that happens here should be collated on the database, like in on the statistics. Here's what the sending ESP provider is doing a bulk mailing. Okay, now watch carefully as to what Vivek said earlier. If the emailers are not well received by the ESP, it will be rejected. Okay, now I'm sending out. Click the send button. Mails go out. The ESP refuses to take that email for various reasons. But I mean, I need to know why they're refusing it. We just can't really. If a postmaster is trying to send out an email to another postmaster, I mean, postmaster is sending out another envelope to another postmaster from a different location, and the postmaster refuses to take that particular letters. I want to know the reason, because the entire system is to send and receive. If there is no sending, I mean, if there is no receiving, what's the point in sending? So there must be some logical reason as well. So let's go back here. I'm going to go in and send the emailer. Here's what the assessment of the email service provider is: to match the email IDs. Match the email IDs of a recipient. Match the email ID on their database to see uh, to see not actual to see live or active email user. Okay, active meaning not participating, but the account is active. 5 years is what you have, right? 5 years you can always go back and retrieve. I don't know what is likely to happen after yesterday, but so far 5 years down the line, if you haven't logged in, it goes on as a dormant account, like a non-active account, and then a non-active account will always be refused, saying, thank you guys, this email is not existing on our database. Sorry, the person is not anymore there. Or probably the person is not active, he changed his email, so he has a different email ID. That type of a return is called a hard bounce. Hard bounce. Email dead, user not active, mail ID does not exist. Okay, now any of these occasions, it's called as a hard bounce. I'm going to go change this here. I hope you're getting it. Give me a heads up if you understood hard bounce. Thank you for the trainer for being so warm and considerate. No, you've been playing very well, sir. I should say thank you. The webmaster at the recipient marked the email domain as a sender being spam. You're going a little advanced there. Stay with me, sir. Okay, now what did I say? Jumping the gun. Chapter 445 is that is. So we'll come to chapter 445 very soon. We are on chapter 20, I guess. Okay, understood. Only two of you? What about the rest of you? Can I get a yes, no, please, if you don't mind? Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. I know it's impossible sometimes to say, keep saying yes, but for me, if you're nodding on the other side, I can't see you. And since there's only chat applet, that is the only one I hold on. If not, I will either be, what do you call, hallucinating that I'm talking to somebody. Let that not be the situation. Thank you for your reciprocation. Fantastic. Great work. Okay, now ESP providers, when they validate to see if the email is active or the user exists on the system, they'll validate that. If it is not existing, they will send out a hard bounce. Now you saw another situation here where Jasraj says that the mailbox is full. User is active, mailbox is full. Now you can't go back and tell the ESP provider saying hold that email and wait till the box empties. Some email service providers hold that email for about a day, 24 hours at the doorstep of the receiver and ESP. They will wait there. Some of them really bring it back after 24 hours and retry that again. Retry sending in 30 minutes or in a day, 24 hours. Okay, so 24 hours later, it returned back. It will wait on the server. It will try again to see 5 times, try 5 times, and then kill process, which means accept whatever results you're getting in, saying that the user is inactive. That could be a setting from the email service provider who's sending out the emailers, and it will wait on the server. And for 24 hours, it will be on their own servers there, waiting to knock. To give you a simple example, you go to a restaurant. The restaurant is full, and you ask the guy saying, "Hey, we are looking at a table for four. My family is only four, right? Two son, one daughter, one son, and my wife, me. Four of us. We want to get there, but the tables are full." He would say quickly, "Sir, please wait. Maybe half hour. One or two bills are getting settled, and I will quickly call you there." You wait for a half an hour there, and then you go back and check again, saying, "Hey, what's the status?" And then he says, "Sir, table is available. Why don't you go there, that corner?" That's exactly what's happening here too. So you come into a restaurant and you say, "Sorry sir, this user's mailbox is full." Once the user empties some of those email, we can go ahead and place your email. For now, you'll have to wait, and the wait period is only 24 hours. If you cannot really see that person emptying the inbox, please go back to the sender, wait, and follow the process here, which is like 24 hours later, send again to see if it's the situation, same situation again. Wait 24 hours, come back, try that 5 times, failing which, consider that email as a dead email account. Job done. Process clear. Now, that such type of bounces is called a soft bounce. When a mailbox is full and you wait to actually retry 5 times, it's called a soft bounce. So, if it is a bounce, that means there are two types of bounces. One is a hard bounce, and the other one is a soft bounce. Mailbox full. Mailbox full. Sometimes it will be a DNS, domain name service maintenance or error. At that point of time, it's an error from the receiver's end, so they couldn't really fix that in time. 2 hours later, 3 hours later, they might get that fixed, and by then your email will be back again delivering. If it doesn't, then the analytics will quickly go back and drop that email saying it's a bounced. Let's click that email to validate if it is actually the same, and look at this mail block. Tell me more. Okay, no, not really. The main reason that it is mail block. So that means a person who's like Rashi has blocked our email, and hence they cannot really send out. If you see the other statistics, maybe another a lot of bounces. I can show you from the other client. Stay with me. This client will have a lot of hard bounces. First emailer, click the email. Okay, now you go. Oh, yes, only two. Yeah, because we validate them before sending. Yeah, soft bounce, DNS, domain name service failure, and it's a general bounce. Maybe inbox is full and quite a lot. When you send out a campaign, approximately what percentage are usually hard bounces, depending on the databases, sir. If the databases has never been used, you bought it in the year 1947 and you started to send out emails in 2018, you will see a lot of hard bounces because every 3 months people have the tendency of changing emails. Yeah, when they're corporate business or maybe their own mail exchange, they change them, and in 3 months your data gets really bad, and at that point the bounces will be too very high. By the way, there's a policy there. If it's greater than 30% bounces on an email service provider's panel, they block your account blocked, because they do not want anyone to mail out without validating the database. Yeah, so it's very important that you clean the data. It's called data hygiene. And once you keep the data clean, you will have very less limited number of emails bouncing. It's a very negative remark on the sender, and the ESP providers do not like senders who are sending out too many of those emails, which are dead email accounts. And if it's over and above 30%, job done, close, chapter close. How does one do that, like email hygiene keeping? How do we do it? Well, there are multiple service providers that you can pick up, or softwares as well. I can show you some service providers who are in the marketplace: Hubaku, Bright Verify, Zero Spam, Zero Bounce. There are some service providers like these who you could use to validate your databases. So this is Bounce. And if you see verification, Try the following solutions and you can keep your data clean. We have a smaller, easier method as well, but that's part of your fourth module. For now, to explain out the data, these are all the service providers who are in the marketplace offering you a solution to upload your database and find out which is active and which is not active. Okay, should I include lead sourcing as well? Lead sourcing. That's my company. We also do similar type of services. If Bright Verify is charging you 32 paise, we only charge you 15 paise to get the activity done. Huh, you heard me. US dollars 32 paise conversion, 32 paise per email, but we do it at 15 paise. Yeah, we can show you how to do that as well on the fourth module in case if that is activated. Thank you very much. Let's go jump in and take a look at the other aspects. So what's the bounce, right? Bounce, and that statistics is also part of your analytics. It also gives you who clicked on the link, which means particularly looking at which person clicked on the link. You see that 7 people clicked on that particular link. Who are those 7 people? Email addresses of those people. Now, if you sync up to your CRM platform and check if you have a phone number of this individual, it's easy for you to actually close the deal there, asking them saying, you clicked on these links, but you haven't really bought the product. Is there something that I can assist you with? Ha! That's a second level of lead conversion. You can have a chat with them because not everybody is going to do, click and buy, but some people are going to be wanting to talk to somebody, and that kind of an activity can also be achieved using an email platform. That's why analytics becomes very, very crucial in the game. Okay, that's a good one in terms of what you guys said. So let's go back to the chart here. Email service providers give you platforms, give you a place where you can upload the database, give you privilege to send out emails in bulk, one to many. For me, bulk is anywhere between over and above 5,000 emails. So you might also want to really relate to that, because I see a lot of other customers coming in and saying maybe 150 emails is also bulk email. Okay, you need a break. We'll come back and take a look at this macro view in some time. According to DV, I'm supposed to be giving you 30 minutes break, which means I go take 20 minutes nap, and 10 minutes I refresh and come back to the class. Well, I'm going to actually break the system because in the last 5 years we have never given any 30 minutes break at all. Why? Because it's a paid webinar and you're the person who actually pays the money. So you decide how much of time you need: 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. 10, 15. Oh, okay, 15, 20, 30. 15, 20, 30. I see one each. 25. No 25 available because that'll be as good as 30. We'll keep it at 20. My system clock 11:52 now. Let's return back at about 11:10. 12:10. 12:10. My system clock. 12:10. My system clock. 10 would be enough to let's gain as much as we can. Fantastic. That's a point of view I have. But well, 20 is good. Go ahead, get your 20. Come back soon. In the meantime, freshers, beginners, stay back. We can't afford to go on coffee break. I am here with you for the next 20 minutes. If you have any questions, throw them up and I will answer them for you. Thank you. Can you please tell me again, from where did you get those email databases? From Google, sir. From Google. From Google search engine. And asking Google to ping LinkedIn, and we got that in. Uh, Please mention some names. Why not show you then, right? Come with me. There's no point in holding it back. I don't know what to say, yeah, because that's a complete module of 4 hours. But I'm okay to show you this. Come with me. What is the maximum
And
or limit? Mm-hmm.
hi, Nithanand. This is Ajitesh.
Hey, hi.
Hello. Actually, I just trying to extract the email IDs what did a few minutes back.
Hmm.
So can you please just give me some idea about it?
Sure, come with me.
How it can be?
Looking at it on the
Yes.
screen now. When I say site, I'm pinging a particular domain, right? Which means I'm telling the Google search, don't focus on the entire planet, focus on just one little planet called LinkedIn. And in LinkedIn, I want you to go inside and look for marketing, people working in a department called marketing. And in there, I want you to go and look for people working inside Delhi, location Delhi, and I want you to give me their Gmail accounts. Search. And now it will quickly go ahead and bring up all of those data, and it's only 10 search. So you can go ahead and modify the search by clicking on the search settings, move the 10 to 100, scroll down here, click the save button. I think it'll ask me the same pass test now. Okay, let's go and pass that exam. Because not many really want to use this, because who wants more than 100 searches? So Google really wants to find out if you're a human and not a computer. Am I done finding cars? Yeah, looks like it. No, I failed. Cars again. This is an empty road. I don't think I can see anything. If you do, please let me know. I'm wearing a glass though, my specs, but still, I don't see anything. So click the button. Oh, finally I did. Three are correct. Okay, see, I got those emails now, right? All of those emails from Marketeer Delhi. You can do your searches, and you will find out that's all related to people inside Delhi. Now, what I need is the email IDs of from here. So I'm going to go copy, Control A to select everything, Control C to copy. Then I go to a domain called Email Reaper, and I drop this particular content which I copied onto my input window. I paste everything there, paste. And then I select this as one per line, one below the other, and then extract. 86 email addresses on the first page. And you're free to actually pick up those emails and go ahead and check to see who are there, what they are. Job done. As simple as it can get. But there's more to the story. That's why I said if the fourth module is around, we could get that done for you. But for now, just to give you a quick head start, I've done that. Okay, God bless. And for those who have gone on break, well, you decided to take a 20-minute break, not my problem. But what we've done is to actually keep it on recording, so you can always catch up. Yeah. Can you paste the search here, please? Search string. Okay, string is, I just deleted it. So LinkedIn.com. There's a space between after you type the domain, and then you say Delhi, and then you say at gmail.com, and then search. That's it. In today's world, how effective is email marketing as a digital tool? Very effective. Tell me one place where you don't use email. You're questioning my loyal channel. Okay, now if I were to go ahead and put a strategy around, let's say my digital marketing strategy is going to be RACE, race. What's a race? Okay, now let's go back and take a look at each one of them. R is for reach as many people as possible on all type of mediums. Yeah, sometimes we might want to include the offline channels as well. Yeah, but we got to really get that done. And then of course the AC is act and convert. Now who does the job? Well, we'll come to that in a minute. Let's finish up with the abbreviations here. What's the E? Engage. Now, if you were to do a little homework, uh, engage. If you were to do a little homework in finding out the list of channels that will get the job done for me, here's how it'll look. On the reach, I'm looking at email, I'm looking at SMM, social media marketing. I'm looking at SEO, PPC, blah, 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 paid marketing as well. I'm also looking at affiliate marketing or any other channels that you can bring up. You want to bring those in and add them in. I'm just going to give you an example here saying this is what it is. What are the converting portals we have? Website, because that's where my e-commerce portal, it's enabled e-commerce buying, and I'm going to be looking at my website as a conversion tool. Okay, that's the website, and many landing pages. Yeah, sometimes for bloggers it will be a blog, so I'm going to go say blog as well, keeping in mind we are looking at bloggers who are trying to attain a lot more conversions there, want more readers, want more footfalls. I want people to consume the ads there. Plenty of reasons why they will take them to a blog as well. The landing pages are based on per product, right? For example, if you go deeper here and look at some of the e-commerce portals, Flipkart, and watch carefully what happens. I'm looking to buy. No, hold on, Walmart, not now. Uh, I am going to go buy not a phone, no slipper shoes either. Okay, iMac. Okay, so if I were to, what happened? Walmart. Oh, acha. Walmart को permission पूछ के दिखा रहा है. Anyway, I want to buy this, PC or my Mac. If you could see that they quickly took me to a particular landing page, and it's not on the home page of Flipkart, which means it's a landing page. So every product has its own landing page, giving out information about the product a little more detailedly, and then also having a buy now button called a landing page. So there are many landing pages on the website. That's where we want to lead the traffic to, and based on each product promotion, I can use that particular link on an email, SMM, wherever, and push that traffic back again exactly to that particular page. For example, I'm selling this, I want more sales to come out of this. And yeah, so I can go ahead and pick up this link and send more traffic to that particular link and get them in. And once they come into the website, this is again engaging activity. Well, of course, a website and a blog should be a lot more intuitive, a lot more user friendly, and people tend to interact with that page, engage well, click on the buttons, find out, explore, read reviews about it, comment about it, engaging. Then we also have SMM, your social media pages where they can interact and engage as well. You also have emails where they're engaging to see, open, click, read information. That's email channel. Now, if you go back and take a look at easy ways to actually handle them, is it easy to handle social media? Or social media will work only when there is a wink. Yeah, 4 lakh subscribers or 4 lakh followers can come up only when there is a video posted with a wink. Priya Warrior something Sarkar or Prakash, that lady posts a video, and there are 4 lakh followers in less than 2 3 hours in a day. Let's put a little more timeline there. In a day, 4 lakh subscribers. How are we going to use that to reach people? The kind of audience who are likely to video with a wink. I don't know what do you say in Hindi. Wink. You haven't wink. WINK. Yeah, that's a wink. Priya Warrior Sarkar. Got it right. Not Sarkar. Who's that? Prakash. I think I got you. Super cool. So I need to be creating a lot of videos in order to reach out people. Tough. SEO 6 months dance. Yeah, Google Dance it's called as. Every 6 months there's some changes or the other bringing in. Panda will come. Hummingbird will come. There are plenty of birds and animals coming in. We'll have to optimize that sites. If you don't, somebody is going to penalize you. Penguin update. Penguin was also there, and yeah, Ank Marke Wink. Yeah, that's the. Thank you, my co-trainer. You've been very helpful in Hindi language as well now. Yeah, आंख मार के काम करना है वो सब नहीं चलता है हमारा email में. Email is a very straightforward. This is who we are. This is what we do. If you like, click here to read more or click here to buy. Job done. Hey, I mean, it's like a direct communication, and there's only one loyal channel that I can see. So, where is Mr. Sri Ram? Sri Ram, you see what we're doing here. So, we're going to pick up that email and say, reach, awesome reach. Act and convert, who can help you to bring back customers back again to the website? Email, yeah, loyally going back and saying, hey, 5 people from your portal have posted something, why don't you come? Facebook, Twitter, all of them using email only to bring them back. Here's another. I bought something. Can I send an SEO banner saying that you have bought your product? Your invoice can be downloaded when you use this particular keyword on search engine. No. A transactional email kicks out of the system and says, sir, this is what you purchased. This is when it will arrive. Here's your invoice value. Thank you for your payment. And an email goes back again saying, sir, your product is likely to be delivered today at so and so time. Here's the executive's number. Email. Not SEO, not SMM. No. Email. Email dependency very high. Engaging and re-engaging or reactivating the customer who are inactive. Who does it well? Email again. It's been last year. I think you bought this product. Maybe you gifted it to an anniversary, right? But you haven't come this year. Is there a reason? Can I help you with selecting a product? Who does the talking? Email. And if you see all over the place in your race model, email will be applicable. Now, if I were to eliminate email, what type of engagement am I removing? A huge engagement I'm actually removing or unplugging from the system, because nothing can work like the emails do. Communicating, getting back the customers, reactivating the customer, keeping the customer informed. I lost my password. Who's going to go back? SEO guy? Nah, 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 nah. Email will go back and tell them saying, I will do this. What are the conversion rates we're looking at through an email? Well, depends again. If you're talking to a cold lead, it's going to take a lot of time, right, to convert. And that conversion period will be a little higher. But if you're talking to people who have already been in the pool, who have bought from you, well, the conversion rates will be quick. Anywhere between, we're looking at open rates. We're not looking at conversion rate. We're looking at open rates for a warm lead, people who have come to your portal, people who know you better, anywhere between 5% open rate to about 50% open rate on an email. People who have bought from you, unless you're really not spamming and chewing their brain off. If not, this is the open rates that we're looking at, expecting. Click through rate, anywhere between 2% to about 12% to 15% is what we're looking at when it comes to click through rate on an email with a warm lead. When it comes to a cold lead, oh, well, it takes a lot of things to actually tell them, saying that this is who you are. For example, if I were to cut this guy off and then jump in here, look at this Go Air. I'm a passenger. I mean, of course, I'm a flyer using the Go Air system, but they've been hitting me left, right, center. But there's no need for me to actually use them now because I don't have any travel plan. Happy weekend offer, 250 offer, this offer, that offer. Who's bringing me back? Who's allowing me to keep the name in my brain when there is air booking? Oh, well, I'm not that high class flyer, not Jet Airways and Lufthansa and all of that. I'm a domestic flyer, and I want cheap and best travel system. So I'm pretty much using any of these guys who can do the job well. Yeah, take off in time, land up in time. That's it all. That's all I need. And if possible, give me some water during the flight. That's it. Job done. Go get the training done. Come back and do the magic. This is exactly what these guys want to do. Top of the mind recall. If there is anything that you want to really book on, for air flying, keep me in mind. Cold lead will take a little more longer to convert, and we're looking at anywhere between 1% to about 2% open rate on a cold lead. Click through rate is obviously going to go down, right? Anywhere between 0.5% to about 1.5% is what we're looking at on a cold lead click through rate. Well, if you put everything together and see which channel does the cold calling better, which channel brings back the customer, and look at the ROI that you see from your CRM platform, you will automatically see that the emails are definitely one thing that you want to invest money on. And the conversion rates, if you were to go back to your platform and do your math, you bet you will come back and tell me saying, this is an awesome channel. Let's stay there. What's an open rate? How many people clicked? With the percentage divided by the total number. Yeah. Ajitesh, are you with me? Yeah. What if? Okay, here's another document. Hold on. Let me go blow this up. I can't read small text. Just to give you a heads up. What if we want to send an email to a certain person of a particular area, city, state? Does the email service provider provide that kind of a service? No. No database. No database. Only email sending functionalities. Only email sending functionalities. I can't really correct like that. Functionalities. Yeah, no databases, just Raj. They say you bring the database, we don't sell databases. But there are hundreds of places that you can actually pick the database on. Who provides the database? Uh, Depends again on sector to sector. For example, if you're looking at India database, let's say Fundu data, You can go into Fundu data and procure any list you want. Yeah. Company information data, what do you want? I'm looking at advertising and media. I'm in Bangalore, so I'm looking at Bangalore. Could you please show me some leads? And here's what they say. Yeah, we find close to about 293 companies categorized as advertising and media companies. There's the entire profile of all of these people. Click open and see what is the data they have. Look at the information. Cold calling, absolutely easy. Pick up the phone number, call from the portal, job done. You can get a breakthrough in. You can also send a snail mail if you want to. You can visit the office if you want to, if you're close by to your location. So database is already there. If you want a specific email ID of the MD Finance, get a paid account, is what they say. But on the fourth module, we'll teach you how to get those email addresses out of Google by just looking at the domain type. Okay, I hope that clears. But in the US, there are hundreds of people who can actually sell the database. Like, for example, Zoom and the Info. They don't like to work with India company. So, yeah, Zoom Info, but they are there in the marketplace. Info USA, Info USA, mailing list. Hoover's, mailing list. Data profile, sales intelligence tool. Data.com, data.com, quality, company profile, business contacts, blah blah blah. There's there. Lead 4 1 lead 411, I think. Lead uh okay, lead 411. Sorry, I'm not typing the lead, I'm just typing the number there. Lead 411. Winning sales platform, sales intelligence platform. There are hundreds of service providers in India. Lead sourcing, company does everything, right? So lead marketing, lead sourcing, and email marketing. Yeah, that's exactly what we do in the marketplace. Databases, sources. Jitin, give me a heads up. Clear. 12:12 is when you supposed to be arriving. I hope everybody is coming. All right, good job, good job. That's a bonus for those who actually skip the break, because I come in from that old school, which says, yeah, if you were any learning, you put your head down and sweat out as much as you can. There's absolutely no time for lunch break and blah blah blah. Can you just repeat that once again? Which one? Open rates. Oh, okay. Now let's go back and show you the open rates. Maybe that'll help you. Don't worry. Come with me. Okay, you come in here, send a campaign out, and now you're looking at that particular 116. 116 on the total number of database delivered divided by 116 should give you the percentage of open rates. Now, if you were to jump one step back, it shows you the percentage right here. That's a percentage. That's called open rates. Total size of the data divided by your total your total size of the data delivered, and that gives you the number out saying these many people. Divide that by 100, you get the percentage. With me, sir? And all that math done by the platforms, we don't really half of the brain. Ask Nikita, she will tell you. We are just flying auto flying. Yeah, we don't really use our brains there at all. Everything is automated now. Our work is to think a little better on the other side, which is what we should do. How come open rate is different from click rate in the open? Oh, the trouble here is to understand that particular thing, which is like the open. So when we look at the open, we're looking at emails being opened, not emails clicked on. But you and I know that it is a click that takes me to open that email. It's not that click they're tracking. They're trying to track how many people open this email. And then there's a click through rate, which is like the link that is being clicked on. That's called a click through rate. Yeah. So don't get muddled up with the clicks there. Clicks is not calculated, but people who opened and people who clicked. People, this number is going to be, let's say, 112 people opened. On top of that 112, how many people really went to the link? Only 30 people. I think CTR is actually a landing page. CTA is a call to action. CTR is click through rate. Click through rate. That's the percentage calculated on the total number of people open. People who opened is 112 people who opened my email. Only 30 people chose to click on some of the links. The rest of them did not want to click the links. Okay, everybody back. Give me a shout if you are. And I see the numbers dripping, right? 23 is what we have in here. Clicked on the links within the email, and the answer is yes. Clicked within the emails, and that's what we're looking at. Good job. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Like I said, I think I've made it very clear. It's going to get a little uncomfortable around from here because don't blame me. That's how the natural beast is. And because you said you want the basics in 2018, I have to show you what is the truth. I do not have a way to actually customize this to basics and just give you a story around 2007 and push you back. No, I can't do this because I can't sleep. If I were to sleep well, I need to show you the story as to what's happening here today and how marketers are having trouble overcoming these challenges. If I prepare you, and I'm sure the streamline of email or the embracement of that particular channel will be a little higher. So contribution, my little one drop of water contribution into the pool of email marketeers. Let's go back and pay attention to the rest of the things. What we've gathered so far is the basic elements on how a template looks like. You looked at the header information, you looked at all of those info that's part of the header. You also looked at what a call to action button is, what the email service providers responsibilities are, what do they do in the backend. You also saw the limitations on the private accounts and public accounts, Gmail, Hotmail, and all of those. And now we're going to go take a look at the macro view like we promised earlier. You got to be 1 inch taller than the regular human beings in order to find out problems and fix the problem. But if you're part of the problem, you cannot really find a solution. So that's why they say when you're figuring out a way out to solve a particular problem, scale your knowledge up. Read as much as possible. Look at PDF documents, look at videos, 100,000 videos on YouTube about discussing all the channels and all the other nuances there, but none of them show you the light as to what's happening with the real email. So what we did when we did our research on identifying how competitive our training is, we went to Udemy. We picked up a course on Udemy. We went to lynda.com, which we still hold our registration on lynda.com, and we could not find any solution which is being discussed outright to the end user. For them, email marketing is a very glorious subject where you work on creative templates, creative content, push the campaigns out. That's not email marketing because there's more to the game. And let's show you information which is not available on the Google search engine as on today. Okay, let's go back and see what's that. Well, you need databases, of course, and there are plenty of sources on how you can get them. Starting off with your Google free searches, you could actually get a handful of data to start off your marketing efforts. Content plus design, coming up on the third module, will show you how. Now, once these things are ready, you have an email service provider, you bought that email service provider, you load the database, you load the content and design, and now it's loaded. You see that email there? Email is ready to be sent. Hit the send button. Goes into the Bermuda Triangle. No one has a clue. Yeah, not a single YouTube video telling me what's in the Bermuda Triangle here. Goes out. And like earlier, I think it was Vivek, destination, which was a desired destination of inbox, now supposed to be, seems to be halted and lands up into the junk folder, also called as spam folder. Now the question is, when we did all of this here, the launch was okay. The launch had no trouble whatsoever. What was wrong here? I mean, this is like ISRO flying off the rockets, and then they say, sorry, abhi Arabian Sea mein aa gaya, बाद में Bay of Bengal में आ गया, orbit में गया, उड़ गया, control नहीं है, we don't know. I mean, come on, do your homework right. There's a guy, boring guy, a company called Boring, sends a car in the orbit. Okay, now if he can put a car in the orbit, what is wrong in us launching out the rocket, right? So there must be something wrong there. Let's do the reverse engineering. Let's move back. If we were to problem solve, why junk folder? Why not inbox? Now, I must also tell you that today, flying off an email is very easy. Nikita will agree with me. So would all those people who have seen the platforms work. It's quite easy to upload a database. In about half an hour's time, you can send your emails out. But the point is, are you sending it to the right destination? Vivek comes into point there. Vivek said the destination suddenly gets altered. It's not the desired location we wanted to send out the email out. But he was looking at a bounce there, but we're not looking at a bounce here because it says delivered. Where to, sir? Spam folder. Why, sir? No explanation, sir. Well, let's go back and do our homework and find out what is in there. Module 1 and Module 2. And unveiling the suspense for you. And I give you a few minutes to run around all the cops there. Go in the reverse order. Cop number 2. Coming up in the module 2, we will discuss everything that is related to content. What type of scrutiny does this cop do on your emailer? And how does he redirect your email, which is made to go into inbox, into a spam folder? And that could be because of your content trouble. Is it because of the link which is in the email? Yeah, it could be links, it could be words, it could be images, it could be various things, but we will discuss all of that on the second module, which is week 2. Volume levels. What about the volume? Oh, there's a specific number. Like, for example, car manufacturers go ahead and say, well, a car is designed 4 seaters, 6 seaters, or 8 seaters to jump out with. And then, of course, 11 seaters, 12 seaters, and a bus comes in as well. Hardware systems manufactured only to carry a certain amount of weight. It can't go beyond that. So is an elevator, a lift. 6 people with an average weight of 50 kgs is what we can support, not beyond that. And if you had more people around, probabilities of either the lift not taking up or getting jammed somewhere in between is very likely to happen. Maybe that's what maybe was a mistake there in this emailer. There is a percentage of spam that's being calculated, not spam complaints. One complaint is okay, two complaints are okay, five complaints are okay, or is 100 complaints okay? We need to know the truth. We need to know the numbers and we need to play by the numbers. And if we are playing by the numbers, possibilities of inbox very high. Blacklisted history. Not just you. Your link must be blacklisted. Your domain will be blacklisted. Your past ESP provider that you chose to use that vehicle on, load your emails, was on the blacklisted history, and hence your emails are landing up into spam. It could be because, remember what Nikita said, people haven't really done anything with your emailer. She made a mention during the bounces. But the actual fact is, your reputation score comes down if people don't read your email. Mm-mm. You see the nuances now. It's the game gets a little more difficult now, saying it's not just picking up an email service providers like Mailshake and Gmail or Mailchimp and flying off your email, but we got to make sure that it actually lands up here. Movie called Sully, yeah, Tom Hanks was the hero there. Everything was okay. Aeroplane takes off, but landed in the ocean. Why? Well, you go back and watch the movie and you will get a fair idea. If you're really interested in it, there's an awesome series called on NGC called Air Crash Investigation. If you go in there, they look at that broken pieces of the aircraft and they try to find out what went wrong. Very similar to what you will be doing with your email that lands up into spam folder. From the cop number 2, week 2, we will dig into each of those microscopic level, identify what is what. Now let's go back furthermore and look at this guy, cop number 1, module 1, which is today. So yeah, breathe in, breathe out, and take a look at what his expectations are. SPF, hair, what's that? We'll come to that in detail, but just know the labels. SPF, compliance, or what kind of compliance? We'll come to that in detail. Labels, absorb them, hold on to that in your mind, and add this cop number 1 there. And when you're really looking at an email being sent, it first encounters the cop number 1. And what he expects you to have is SPF and DKIM. I mean, SPF and compliance. We'll come back to the other tags or the headers that you need to have within your emailer in order to send the campaigns out. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a heads up if you understood this. You have seen the macro level. Got it. Awesome. Now you are one step a little higher than the common human being, which means anyone who's looking at an email and not saying, I don't know why it's going to spam, is something that you'll have an answer to now. You'll have to go back and do your research, go back and do some investigation on the reports, on the emailer, and find out what went wrong. Was it a content? Was it volume? Was it blacklisted history? Was it percentage of spam? Was it engagement from the cop number two? If everything says none, 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 everything is okay, what else was wrong? Maybe cop number one. And he said SPF. So this is cop number one. And watch carefully, he says, I am an authenticator. I'm an authenticator, a validator. He wants to find out if you really have the Aadhaar card, if you really have the PAN card, if you really have that passport. Is it a valid passport? He has methods, he has various forms, ways to identify where you're originating from. So let's go back to that SPF a little bit. SPF. And act you're looking at it for the first time. My coordinator sends out that emailer for you as to what the abbreviated form for SPF is: Sender Policy Framework. Sender Policy Framework. And you might exclaim, what? Oh, that's a good sign. Yeah, because sometimes it's a very new information. You want to really go back and ask that what, why, how, and it's a very crucial answers that we'll have to get in for all of those why, what, how kind of situation. What is that? Well, sender policy framework, meaning sender's identity. I'll pick this up. SPF, show me your identity. Yeah, now it makes sense, right? Because they're asking you, saying, where are you originating from? Where are you coming? Show me a passport. Show me your Aadhaar card. Show me your voter's ID. Show me your driving license. Okay, good. So, which means identifying, and there must be some identifier that these guys are checking on. And if we don't show them, chances of email landing up into spam very, very high. Okay, identifier. What do they get by identifying it? Well, are you who you say you are? Oh, right. Shah Rukh Khan meaning Shah Rukh Khan, not Salman Khan. You got to show me the passport or your identity which actually has your name. So if you're saying you're Shah Rukh Khan, please show me the proof of identity that you are Shah Rukh Khan. Because I don't watch Bollywood movies, so I don't know who Shah Rukh Khan. So show me the proof here, please, is the cop's demand. And if you don't show that, he will quickly know that you're faking the details in, spoofing the details in, manipulating the details in, working on stealth mode, ghost mode, only indicating that you're a spammer. Ghost mode, stealth mode, hide and seek, hide details is equal to spammers. But in my previous experience, Zoho Mail free version is going to spam. Why? Yeah, you'll get all those answers now. Come with me. Not just Zoho mailers. You'll have to find out everybody else. Srinivasan, you are going to be looking at a benchmark or a checklist through which you will not only evaluate Zoho, you will pretty much evaluate all the ESP providers and all the reasons why the emails are going into spam. I go into an email here and I see Tom's top brands coming into emails, into spam folder. Why? Why? kalyanmatrimony.com doing a great favor to actually people who are not really networking enough, right? So yeah, why are they getting into spam? Is it because it's matrimonial? Is it because it's a word, or did they do something seriously wrong? Let's go back inside and click the button. Well, I don't really want to jump the gun. So come with me, and you will be able to identify all the stories around the spam folder, and you will be able to evaluate them one by one. Who are these cops? Is it at the recipient's end or is it at the sender's end? Very nice question, and I'm glad to see that name there. Why sometimes emails automatically go into spam? All the answers hidden behind cop number one and cop number two. You're only going to be focusing on the cop number one today. Next week, we'll focus on cop number two today. I mean, cop number two next week. Today, cop number one. So tell your mind saying, if I get thorough with the cop number one this week, next week I study the cop number two. You will be a walking, talking investigator, email doctor. I call them as email doctor. So doctor, आपका पहला क्लास है इस डायग्नोसिस करने का. किडनी में प्रॉब्लम है या हेड में प्रॉब्लम है, साइकोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम, और इज इट लाइक अ रियली हेल्थ इशू देयर, like an organ dysfunction? What is the problem? We need to find out. It could be various reason why a person is holding the stomach and saying, my head is paining, sir. Now hold on a second. Your hand is on the stomach and you're saying your head is aching. Is that because you ate something wrong and that's indirectly reflecting on your head, or is it a head causing the stomach pain? We need to diagnose it. So doctors, sit back and find out, how do we diagnose the first guy? So the cop number one has a few diagnostic checklist, and he says, please show me the details, where you're coming from, where you're originating from, and if you hide anything, which means I will be able to attribute that hiding aspect as a spammer, as a person who's trying to break through the authority, like who's the other example? Yes, Assange, Mr. Assange, WikiLeaks, trying to leak out information about the government. Government is against it, saying, "Oh, don't even think about it. Get the website down." Well, they can block the U.S. website, but Russia website opens up. Block the Russian website, talk to the government, pull the website down. Okay, done. Philippines website opens up. फिलीपींस ब्लॉक करो, चाइना वेबसाइट ओपन हो गया, यूक्रेन वेबसाइट ओपन हो गया. यार इसको कैसे बंद करेंगे? नहीं होता है. That's World Wide Web. Pirate Bay, the torrent site, guys. Everybody said we will bring that Pirate Bay down. Are you sure? The hackers are asking a simple question saying, are you really sure that you can bring back the torrent website down? Oh no. Look at the number of web portals that you can access torrent, the piratebay.com. It's not .com anymore, but various sources on various web portals. Not one hosting service provider, hundreds of them. And some places, the government itself says, guys, you do your business. Don't ever think about coming and telling us what is right and what's wrong. Oh, well, that's something that these guys don't like it. Why? Because they want to make sure that they protect the user. And you saw another question from Yoshita. She said, where are these guys present? Now, let's scroll down a little bit and go back there to this sending ESP provider and receiving email service provider. Get these guys out. Uh, sorry. There. Sending ESP, receiving ESP. Yoshita, this is for you. Receiving email service provider. Now, if the cops are around there, I want to know where they are. Okay, now here's how it worked long time ago. Happy come, happy go system, right? Say Gmail sends it, Hotmail receives it. No questions asked. Absolutely not. Things were very good, honky dory. They were all celebrating beautiful love story there, saying sender sending, receiver receiving, beautiful hug. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Then what happened? Users, the recipients, this is like the receiver, started calling out emails saying, it's a spam. It's a spam. And somebody had to hear them. The receiving ESP provider had to look at some of those emails and find out, why are these recipients really calling it as spam? What is the reason why they're saying spam? When they dug in, they found out that Windows operating system users could easily download a PDF document and execute a beautiful virus inside the system. Execute a virus. And that email was a package with a PDF attachment sent to the user's inbox. Since there is no verification here, ESP providers did not verify anything. They just happily accepted it, relying on the sender. Oh, acha, Gmail sent it. I accept it. Chalega. Huh. That like that they picked up, and suspicious activity started. Somebody sent out an email asking them to re-register their banking detail. Register banking info. And it was a portal that was not meant to be the bank, but pretended to be the bank. And the user clicked on it accidentally, compromising the entire username and password for the net banking. Now, something had to be done by the ESP providers to protect the sender or the receiver. What did they do? Well, here's what they did. They quickly said, you know what, we can't blindly pick up any emails anymore. Let's quickly bring in a cop, authorize the validation of this guy, find out where he's originating. In case if there is any, virus being downloaded or information being compromised and a user complains, we can always go back and find out where he originated from and hold the sending ESP provider responsible, who in turn will give us details of the sender. This is the sender, because you're going to give in the brand name, your email ID, your phone number, and plenty of details that they will gather before they give you an account. And that detail can be collated and quickly led to the guy who's the culprit. Okay, so that's exactly what the cop number one did. And of course, the cop number two had to further jump in, because the cop number one said, I can only validate where they're originating from. Are they compliant? The second cop said, I will go a little further than that. I will go ahead and look at content, volume, links within the content, image size of the content. They will look at various other parameters, and now it became very difficult for any such emails to come inside. Now you see the story. Give me a heads up if this is clear. Yoshita to begin with. With me. Smita also comes in. That's a new name. Thank you very much. Yeah, fantastic. Good job. Where's Yoshita? Did she get an answer? Uh, yeah, she said yes. Okay, awesome, awesome. So let's go back. Yes, I did. Awesome. Now, the question is, let's imagine and go into the ESP provider's mind. You work for Hotmail for a minute. Imagination. Hotmail, and you're the CTO, Chief Technical Officer. 100 people actually complained out of 150 users. 100 people complained. Hotmail, meaning I love that system. All right, so Hotmail complained saying 100 people complained about a virus being downloaded, and they want to find out where it originated from. They figure out that it is coming out of Gmail. Now they also have a policy here. They will quickly ping Gmail saying, Gmail, जो आप कर रहे हैं वो अच्छा नहीं है. Yeah, why you're distorting our network? Why are you compromising our customers? Then Gmail will go back to find out what are my senders really doing. And when they look at the activities, Gmail was surprised to find out that 2005, when they opened the bandwidth saying, do not delete email, send as many as you want, keep everything on our servers, no problem whatsoever. 2005. Oh, well, you know what human beings did? Spam karo. And they started spamming. And the Gmail had to really take a closer look, because I'm sorry, I love to call. Sorry, I have a terrible cold. Yeah, so Gmail had to do something in order to not spoil the reputation with the receiver. So they had to take a stand. And here's what they came up with. They went back into the system of Hotmail and various. Did I say Hotmail here? Okay, so I mean, for example's sake, Hotmail came up with that security system. All right, so let's leave it there. And then they wanted to find out what kind of systems are they adopting to figure out who's a spammer and who's not. And they figured out that there's cop number one and cop number two. And now what happens? Gmail also adopts the same system at the sender's end. Gmail says, guys, if you're sending out emails, let it be validated by the sender, by the cop number one, let it be validated by the cop number two, and then you move out of the system. And when such system happened, cop number one and cop number two from the receiving end had no problems identified, because it's already fixed. Reputation of Gmail along with Hotmail becomes very friendly. Now the question is, that's a nice story, Nityanan. How are they how is that happening in real time? Hundreds of service providers all holding on to one single norm. How is it possible? What if I tell you that they all have lunch on a weekend together and play golf together? Come with me. I'll show you where. You see that association? That's like a networking group that they all join up in, and they all sign up to one little agreement saying, "I do. Hey Littler," and Hitler says, "Spam nahi karne ka." Hey Littler, something like that is happening. There. Where is that? Look at this. On a weekend, they play golf. They come into the meeting to find out what happened last week, last month, last year, and they evaluate. And all of them are members. Who are those? Microsoft Incorporation, Comcast, Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, Mailchimp, SendGrid, highest data center with a lot of volumes of data going out, emails going out, AT&T, ISP, ESP, not in our country, but US, yes, they are. Adobe trying to comply. All of these guys, Yahoo is now AOL. Now Verizon is equal to AOL. All of these guys coming together. Listrak, Litmus, Markero. You will see some of your names which you're currently using as a service provider aligning and saying, yes, we agree. If we don't have cop number one and cop number two, possibilities are very high that somebody will hijack our system someday. And all of them conferencing together, playing golf together. So, if there is a service provider existing on the planet Earth, they're part of this group. I mean, licensed service provider. You wouldn't find lead sourcing here, would you? No, no. We are non-licensed spamming guys. Yeah, we are not on the Russia's hit list, but yeah, but definitely yes. In India, we do many spams. That's why we can't get into this particular pool of list and shaking. It's an elite group of people with a lot of revenue, and of course, that's when you get those licensing saying, "Well, come in, be a group member, and also know that these are the norms currently that we are adopting." Ladies and gentlemen, give me a quick shout if you understood all of these context. Clear. Milestone crossed. Alrighty, perfect, perfect. You're getting along with the story well. Come with me, and now let's go back and define the SPF policy. Identity was crucial so that we don't look like a spammer. A behavior can be quickly monitored. Yeah, you are also assessing all of that. We call it prototyping, right? You look at a person's dress, you look at the person's way of speaking, you look at the person's verbal communication, you look at the non-verbal communication, and then quickly assess the person saying good or bad. Similarly, our behavior here can be attributed as a spammer if we don't do or align with some of these policies. Why sometimes email automatically go into spam? Yet these are the norms we're looking at there if we don't follow the norms. Okay, now SPF. How can you find out the SPF? Where do you think will be the SPF? Would be a question. But let's say I go to a spam email, an email in a spam folder, and I want to find out why automatically Ajitesh question. Why automatically Kalyan matrimony landed up into spam? Okay, now the checklist is cop number one's evaluation. Let's go to the header information by clicking the drop down menu and take a look at what they have to say. Oh, well, there are some information here. I'm going to go copy these. Header information. Remember in the outset? From name, from email ID, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's right here. So I bring this information to scrutinize based on Ajitesh's, call out. Why sometimes automatically emails are going into spam? Something wrong in the header information. What is wrong and how do I know that? Let's go back in detail because that's a layman perspective. But you and I, doctors, have to see x rays and make sense on what the x rays have to say. We can't really look at a normal individual and say, सब कुछ ठीक तो दिख रहा है, आप अच्छा जीन्स पैंट पहने हुए हैं, टी शर्ट भी अच्छा है, सब कुछ ठीक है. No. X-ray behind what is wrong in the background is what we need to look at. Here's the background. Click the drop down menu and click the button which says show original. And now you can see what is not okay and what is okay. Now I'm going to go bring in a screenshot again. Take a screenshot of this. How many of you have a domain on GoDaddy and have not connected a Gmail account or not connected an MX record? I have. Fantastic. Can we create a email through Gmail? I mean Zoho for you? Any of you who say, okay, I need access to your GoDaddy, and then we will create them and show you how to add some of the signatures. Okay, good. So fantastic. Let's go back and take a look at this. Okay. Right, nice. If it comes in installment also. If you take a closer look, You're looking at a from name, from email ID, yeah, to which is it sent to, what's the subject line, and IP address as well. Very crucial, and that's called the SPF, sending from this particular IP, because this is where I originate. On the internet, this is the only way to track as to what a person is doing. Like, for example, on your mobile phone, I think for that you need to watch the Crime Patrol series, right? Saturdays and Sundays it comes in on Sony TV. Awesome guys, yeah. 70% of the cases are solved using a phone tracking. Phone tracking पे डालो, IMEI tracking पे डालो, case solve हो गया. Yeah, that two report comes in automatically. They will know who's the suspect. Nail him down. Job done. Similarly, what is that called? SIM card tracking pedalo, phone number tracking pedalo. Yeah, that's the IP address. They pick up this IP address to find out where it originated, and it'll quickly ping the ISP provider, service provider, saying this is who the owner of this IP is. And now, if there is something wrong with these, it says pass, so which means it's validated and it does belong to the real person. DMARC record and various other records, right? Here's another setup that these guys, cop number one, is going through. Initially, the cop number one was only checking for sender ID. This was good enough. A lot of people, got caught by just looking at the sender ID. I'm coming there. Stay with me. Um, I'm looking at the old past methods on how they started to evaluate. Sender ID was good enough. That, again, over a period of time, somebody found a loophole in the system and they figured out a way around working around this particular problem. And it was impossible for the cop number one to catch up with the wrongdoer by just assessing the sender ID. A unique ID, like the IP addresses, like the origination of where they registered, that ID wasn't really doing the magic. Now they beefed up the security. They said, bring up SPF, add the IP address there. Now, this to a certain extent went ahead and stopped the spammers. That's one of the reasons why we are not getting pharmaceutical products. Yeah, enhance this, enhance that, ये tablet, discount में ले लो. All of that is never coming in because the IP can be blocked. Blacklisting is made provision. Plenty of other tracking that's happening using the IP. This is also, breakable. People, spammers, have found a way to work around this problem, and hence they came up with domain identifier, IMEI numbers. We say that, right? That's the IMEI number. That server, which has got a unique signature, that will also be tracked. Okay, so get the DKIM, put that on the tracking. Then get the DMARC record from who we have to contact in case if there is a problem with an email. If the sender is not doing something wrong, I mean, if the sender is really sending something wrong and the users complain, who do we get in touch with? I need all of these information on the signature. Now let's go back here and apply these text or the checklist to find out what they have done and what they haven't. Do we see an SPF? And the answer is, of course, they do. Sender ID is part of SPF now because it's a technology upgrade. So, sender ID, SPF taken care of. DKIM records not available. Not available. What happened to avail? Available. Not available. DMARC record pass. Yeah, if you can get in touch with, that's pass. Now, what's missing here is the DKIM record. And since the records don't tally with the checklist, there's no assessment of 90% getting right or 100%, 70% getting right. You got to be 100% right. You got to make sure that the DKIM is also working and there's a signature saying pass. DMARC record is saying pass. I'll show you all of this in action in a few minutes from now using Ashitesh's login. Can I go ahead and start my work? Can I go ahead and start my work? All of this in action on how you do it, not just the theory particle parts on we should have it. I'll show you how to get that done. Okay, he says in a moment. Okay, in the meantime, what we will do is where you do all of these signatures and all the other parts is on your working email domain or a working email ID. Working email ID. Now the question is, if I were to do all of this on my working email ID, what do I need? Here's a list of things that you need in order to make your ID work on your domain, like in any private domain that you're trying to create. What do I need? Well, you need a domain service provider to block the name. I think this is Go and the daddy. You need GoDaddy to book your domain. So domain blocked, name blocked, which means leadsourcing.in, flipkart.com, walmart.com, accessible because we blocked the domains. Okay, so that's domain bought. Now, this is just the name that you bought in, but you'll have to set up a post office as well for this. Yeah, post office. Yeah, sending and receiving. How do I get that? Well, it's called mail exchange as well. Mail exchange, like a setting up a post office to send and receive emails from this particular domain that you have just registered. And then you go ahead and look at all the others. Shall I log in? No, I'm going to log in here, if that is okay. Give me the password as well. Okay, so the domain is ready. So let's go ahead and take a look at how do we set up. You need GoDaddy to domain block the domain first, and then you go ahead and set up a mail exchange on it. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and look at my GoDaddy. GoDaddy, we have a plan of starting off our own professional email ID. So what can that be? Sunny, Digital Sunny, Digital Digital Sun. No, that is Sun Network, I think. Sunny will be better. So we'll pick up Sunny now. Digital Sunny, enter. Okay, now you take a look at it. It says, hey, well, Digital Sunny is already taken. I think you have digitalsunny.in. Would you like to buy it? Yeah, you can go ahead and cart that and click on the continue. You have decided to buy a domain called digitalsunny.in, and it says, well, would you like to protect yourself not showing up your details on the web, like in anyone who's going to go into whois.com can see the data? Would you want to protect that? Well, I say no to this for now. Would you want to host anything like websites, or you have your own place where you can drop in your WordPress blogs and all of that? Well, if it is a yes, then you can go ahead and start with a plan, with a basic one. But if it's a no, we're setting up an email infrastructure, so we say no. And it says, I can also offer you a post office where you can send and receive. That's a mail exchange. Now, if I want to set up using GoDaddy, I can go ahead and say 46 rupees is per month. If I want to go ahead and say, I would go ahead and select this one, and I say set up a mail exchange as well. I will pay you 46 every month. And when you click button, continue, you will get to see the total price that you will pay in order to get that particular domain access along with your mail exchange. That's exactly the provision made by pretty much all the service providers in and around. There you go. It says, well, this is for 2 years. I'm going to go make that to 1 year. If it works well for 1 year, then we can go ahead and increase that. 12 months plan, or I could say, no, just a 1 month plan is fine. I want to see what's the cost. $560. Continue to pay will be $50 every month. If you want to change that to 12 months, this is the cost for you to set up your email infrastructure. Now, what I also have a provision is that you can go ahead and bring in your MX record from any places, free service provider as well, Google as well. So I'm going to delete this guy and say, thank you, GoDaddy, for your offer. Just register the domain and I'll do the rest. And I go to Zoho to set up my mail exchange. This is Zoho. And on Zoho, I'm going to set up my free account. Ladies and gentlemen, are you following? I have provided. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Are you following? Give me a heads up. Fantastic. Let's go. Right here, I just need this particular piece. Waiting on it to load up. And I click the button here saying I would like to set up a mail here. See that? I click the button saying mail. And I don't want to just randomly believe that somebody said it's free, so I'm going to go and pick that up. But instead, I click the button which says pricing, and you can see that Zoho is offering you at 99. That's the startup plan. But if you scroll down furthermore, they give you a free offer as well, free plan. Okay, now that's exactly what we are interested in. So when you click the button saying get started, they're going to ask you a few questions on what type of domain you hold, where is it coming in from, who's the owner. All of that questions will be asked, and hence we have to have that access to GoDaddy. And let's see how we can show you the setup. Okay, let's go. I just want, okay, there you go. My mouse started working. I clicked the button saying get started with a free plan, and it says, hey, do you have a domain already, or would you like to buy a domain? No, I already own a domain. So let's go back and pick up that from the chat applet here. Scroll down. Going Digital is the domain, goingdigital.co.in. Okay, this is Ashitosh's login. So I'm going to go click the button saying add, and it says, what's your name, please? Let me see. No, Ajitesh. Ashutosh. Ajitesh's name. I'm gonna go copy that. What's your last name, sir? Or would you like the same email to be? Right. So I'm gonna go say Ghosh. Right. Do I have a last name field? No, I don't think so. What's your mobile number, sir? Uh, yeah. Going Digital is mine, not Ajitesh. Oh, okay. Sorry. I need the domain owner. What's your domain, Ajitesh? Okay. Disk or art. What is that? Disarc. Okay. I will have to break this down. Disa arc. Okay. I'm sure you know. Maybe you can help us out with the pronunciation later. I'm going to click the button saying yes. Thank you very much, Vivek, for helping us know that. I thought I was about to, register that name or that particular domain. Okay, so that is the same email ID. Let's pick up the phone number. I think they will ask me to type this in. Yeah, 9831065574. Retype the same again. I'm moving the go to meeting on the other side. 9831065574. Okay, what's your password, please? Okay, password typed. And I move ahead and say I'm in India. I agree all the terms and conditions. Click the button sign up. A verification code would have arrived to this particular number. Please share the number. So for the rest of you, we're going to show you literally how to add those signatures in on every email ID that you create. And it's a mandate, a warranted field, and we have to get that done. Live demonstration on right from the scratch as to how you create an account and how you add those signatures up. Waiting for the code to come in. Give him a minute. No? Should I resend? Did I type the number right? 9831065574. Yeah, I think I've done it right. Okay, there you go. Number arrives and verified. Fantastic. What happened? Start the domain again. Okay. Zoho. Oh, because we made some changes there earlier with the domain name, so they just want to revalidate, I guess. This is okay. No, that's the domain name. We haven't created a domain as yet. Ajitesh, password. Okay, phone number. Maybe let's copy the phone number. 911. No, sorry, 91. Enter. Okay, there you go. So it gives you access to the account and it says, hey, you know what? We're trying to protect you with two-way password. We'll do that later. We want the domain to be active and adding an email account to it. Let's see how we can do that. Mail. Would you like to add an existing email ID or add a domain? And the answer is yes, we want to add a domain. And there's no domain here, so we have to start off from the scratch as to how we can add up the domain. Add a domain and the domain name. I'm going to copy that domain name again. Click OK. Would you like to verify your domain? Yes, because it wants to find out whether we are the owners of that particular domain. And here we go. Are you the owner of this domain? If you are, please tell me where you have hosted your domain. Well, we picked up GoDaddy, so it must be on GoDaddy. And let's go to GoDaddy because that's where most of the work will be now. GoDaddy. And I'm going to sign in. By default, it remembers that I will have to cart a product. So I'm going to go sign in here. Sign in. Okay, so I'm going to go and look at that particular number. That's the number and password. Wow, password is surprising. Somehow concurs with my last name. Okay, so I'm in that particular account. So I'm going to go take a look at how many accounts or how many domains has Ajitesh bought before. So let's take a look at it. There's only one domain that is being purchased, and that's this. So our entire activity will be on the domain name services. So you're looking at that DNS, domain name service. Click the button. Okay, there you go. And I want to make sure that there is no previous existing post office. There's already one, and I don't know if it's an active one. Let's hear it from the owner. Is this MX or Mail Exchange post office active? Is this Mail Exchange active? Okay, the answer is no, so I can proceed further. I need to now validate that this is we are the owners of that. So Zoho is asking us to do the basic stuff. It says please go into CNAME. Okay, add a CNAME factor or an element. Call this on the first half, and the second half must be this. Okay, so let's go in here and look at add CNAME first half, and I pick up the second half from here. Second half, and click the button save. Okay, now that signature is being added. So we're now setting up the post office saying that the domain is coming in from GoDaddy and it will be used by Zoho to actually do the mail exchange. Once you click the button, it says, yeah, great. We have just pinged GoDaddy to find out if the signature is available. And we found that the signature was existing. Okay, it says, well, would you like to add up your first email ID? Of course, I would like to. Ashitesh at so and so will be the email ID. So I click that one. And it says you can add 21 more users for free, absolutely no questions asked, and zero cost. Well, we can add it later, but you can skip that for now. You can also add role based emails, like, for example, HR, admin, finance, accounts, whatever you can think of. You can add that as a group. Would you want to? No, we can do that later as well. We want to make sure that the post office is up and running. Here's what it says. The second step that you need to do is to make sure that you activate the post office, because you label the post office saying or redirected the post office to Zoho. You've got to make sure that this is added on your DNS service, and it has to be an MX record, mail exchange record. Okay, so let's go down here, click the button, click the mail exchange, and at sign is by default, and it says focus it to Zoho MX record. Priority 10, I think. Priority 10. Okay, so let's go back here, click the save button. Add the same records again 3 times so that you don't miss out on any of those emails, because we have backup systems there. MX record 2, this time priority is 20, I believe so. Yeah, 20 MX2, and click the save button. Can you also give the Zoho login to me for future? I'm coming there, sir. Stay with me. Ownership अभी मेरे पास है. बाद में आपको दे देता हूँ. Don't worry, it's all yours. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is mail exchange. Yeah, and at sign. Of course, this one will be MX3 and priority 50. Any of these servers will kick in, right? So in case if this one fails, the second one will kick in. Third one fails. Second one fails, the third one kick in, and there is no way that they will miss out on all of it. So yeah, that's exactly what we've done. Let's refresh this so that give them enough time to actually ping each other, and click the button saying lookup. Okay, it says, well, I couldn't really find, and I could find something here saying mail dot discard, and we need to eliminate that. Okay, got it. Because I asked earlier saying that there is a mail exchange already existing. Is there a reason? So, dear owner, can I delete that if it is not really working? प्रायोरिटी ज़ीरो में तो आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते, तो ये जंक है, डिलीट करूँ मैं? Yeah, okay, good. So let's go ahead and take this off. Click the delete button, and MX1020 kicks in. Okay, so let's go back, look up. Status hasn't changed much. It still says I can still see the records there. I refresh one more time, go back here, and look up. Okay, MX records taking over, but this disk, I think it will take a little while to completely eliminate, but I'm sure it will move out of the system. Mail dot discard. Yeah, so my domains are active, as you could see. So I'm going to go click the next button, and here we go. Zoho knows it, Gmail knows it, Hotmail knows it, and every service provider in and around knows it, that without this value, you cannot really write on it. Domain name or domain key identifier, you can see that here, DKIM. Domain key signature, it is a mandate. You got to add the signature from which server exactly it's coming out from. This is like the SIM value, SIM card, like the mobile phone number, but this is like your EMI number of your specific phone. And there is no way that a spammer can get away out of this. Of course, there's a workaround here as well. Yeah, because there's absolutely nothing that one can do. But keeping in mind that if the cop number one is trying to evaluate, he is evaluating SPF and DKIM. Old system, working very well in protecting the user from not really manipulating the way through. And another double protection, just like your OTP, one time password. Yeah, and that's something that we need to get it done. Where should we do it? Well, there's a video to follow as well, but you can go ahead and take a look at text value, add sign, and add this particular signature. Got it? So let's go back to the domain and say add a text value, that's the txt, add sign, add the signature. Click the save button. No audio. Oh, how many can help? Could you please answer that question? Thank you. Okay, I'm going to also proceed to add the other part of the signature. I can. Thank you very much, ma'am. Very helpful. Yeah. So please check your internet and come back. Thank you. Proceed to add the DKIM value. So I'm going to go in here and add a DKIM value for this particular domain. Audio is there. Thank you, sir. Right. Now, if you click this button, it says, no, you can't add a DKIM unless, or you can't activate them unless you add one. So click the edit button. For this particular domain, I want to add a unique ID, which will be only for this particular computer alone or particular domain alone. And look at that signature generated from the mail exchange. And that signature is something that we need to add up on every email IDs that we are creating. I mean, for every domain. If you're changing out the domain, you'll have to add a domain key as well, and only then it will show up the DKIM value. So I'm going to go copy this without any spaces. That's the first half, and of course, it says it's a text value. So let's go back to GoDaddy, add the text value, and first half. And let's get the second one. Second half, paste, like in save. Click the refresh button. Let's go back here and tell them saying here, go ahead, verify them. It takes 30 to 45 minutes for it to kickstart. Okay, got it. Back to the setup. SPF and DKIM added. And it says now you're migrating from one server to another. If you want to go ahead and add this onto your POP, please feel free to do so. You can also download an app here to check your emails out of Zoho. So that's another provision. SPF and DKIM added, and system is working perfectly fine. As you could see, all of these guys will show up active soon after 30 to 40 minutes. From our end, we've configured the domain. Let's go back and access the mail. Can I have a mail here? Okay, sorry, this guy. Check it out, privacy policy. Yeah, everybody's singing out the same song now because of compliance. Zoho and slash mail. I'm going to go sign in. It's already signed in, so I'm going into my mailer, Zoho Mail. That's my email ID. That's my email ID. Okay, and Ashutosh needs the password as well. Ajitesh. Ajitesh, that's your password. Okay, I'm going to go in here and take a look at skip the tour, email, lead sourcing at gmail.com. Moving the GoToMeeting a little on the other side, gmail.com. Yeah, perfectly fine. Test, shoot. Email goes out. Wanting to check if it is arriving in the lead sourcing ID, and there you go. Arrives perfectly fine. No problem whatsoever. Now the signatures, are they being added? Well, the SPF signature is being added. DKIM takes a little while, but the signature is showing up saying this is the domain that's trying to send out the mailer. If you go to the original, you will see SPF has been activated immediately. That's the IP from where the emails are going out. DKIM will start showing up in about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, maybe 1 hour. You go out and quickly check out to see if the DKIM signature is being added. Ladies and gentlemen, proof as to how you do it clear. And congratulations, Ajitesh. You have just got your domain connected to a mail exchange, and the mails are working perfectly fine. I just sent one and I've received one. Okay, I'm going to go log out of this, and I passed out your username and password as well. Sign in, test it before you leave. Thank you. Bye for now. And I'm going to go out of your domain as well because I have got nothing to do here. It's already set. Yeah. Done. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? I connected my website with Gmail. How is this different? You connected your website with Gmail or mail exchange with Gmail? Like me, connecting my all my accounts on Gmail as an MX. Well, there is nothing different because Gmail will charge you 179 rupees per email ID, whereas Zoho charges you nothing. Yeah, you can have about 21 email addresses, absolutely zero cost. Yeah, so that's exactly the advantage there with Gmail. I mean, with Zoho. But the other point is they don't have features like Gmail, right? So you'll have to give out some compromise on some of the qualities there. But the uptime and email receipt is perfectly fine. Absolutely no trouble. One of the other domains are completely on Zoho of ours, and rest is all handled by Gmail. We want to move out to Zoho as quickly as we can. Looking at the way Gmail is tracking, we want to go out, but end of the day, that's the largest beast. If we are doing something, we want to do it with the largest beast, and not with the smaller players. For example, if I'm setting off my mailer IDs, and if I can't get inside my Gmail account, my email servers are not being accepted inside Gmail, what's the point in teaching email marketing? Doesn't really make serve my purpose. Can you repeat what would be the advantage of the use of MX Record instead of the domain service provider? Example, we can use without all of this GoDaddy directly. We can use them. We can use them. The interface that GoDaddy provides will look like this. Uh, okay, well, I'll have to turn on my server. Stay with me. Uh, Coming right up. Stay with me. Maybe I can show you another server here. So if I go in here and I say mail, a system comes up. You see, that's an open source tool called Roundcube. Okay, and if I were to sign in, Shashi, this is exactly how the tool will look like. They have Squirrel Mail, I think. Now, no much difference in terms of Squirrel Mail or Roundcube. End of the day, this is exactly how you will read information. This is how you will compose information, and this is how you will mail them out. Clicking the send button. If you don't like the user interface, you want more, then you jump into other service providers. Currently, Gmail, your GoDaddy does take care of the system, but the user interface that they provide is not very intuitive. But if you are like a user on Outlook or some other service, Office, Outlook, when you install Office, I think Outlook comes in by default. So if you're using that and you're not really looking at the squirrel mail kind of stuff, then perfectly fine. But what if you were to access the email on the web? Nothing can beat this, isn't it? Nothing can beat this. Look at that intuitiveness. Look at, I mean, of course, we're compromising on the data there, but end of the day, these guys have quality services, and that's exactly why we want to retain some of the service providers. If not, look at this Squirrel Mail, Roundcube. For bulk mailing, we are not really looking at logging into sending all these emails. We just want an email active mail exchange to receive them and process the bounds elsewhere. That's something that we do in the backend. Ladies and gentlemen, your SPF and DKIM story concludes here. Give me a quick shout saying that the SPF is clear, DKIM is clear. If you have any doubts, come back and ask me. I'm more than glad to actually answer all of them. I love questions. I love interaction. That's the only that's the only take from you. So easy to understand. Awesome. See, when you do it, it's a lot more easy than narrating a story. स्पेस में ऐसे जाते हैं, मैं बोलता हूँ स्पेस का सूट डाल लो, मेरे साथ आ जाओ अंदर, रॉकेट के अंदर बैठ जाओ, मैं बताता हूँ कि कैसे गैस को कंट्रोल करते हैं, यानी वो हार्मफुल गैसेस अराउंड द एटमॉस्फेयर, हाउ टू कंट्रोल देम एंड हाउ टू गेट पास्ट दैट ऑर्बिट एंड स्टे इन द ऑर्बिट. कार को बोरिंग कंपनी डाल रहा है. Boring company is putting a car in the orbit. Come on, we have to do a lot more better than anything else. Those guys are coming into candy company as well. Somebody stop him. Anyway, looking at the other part of the cop number 2, uh, company name is called Boring. I'm sure you know, and you're doing your homework on that gentleman as well. Elon Musk. Awesome person. Yeah, then comes the compliance. What about the compliance? Can you please share this PPT as well at the end of the session? Sure, I would. You've not done your homework is what you meant. Sure. Yeah, you can take my hard work. I do this every session. Unbelievable, isn't it? Easy ride is to create a PPT and slide them through, and I go to sleep. But I work with you, and expectation is that you also work with me. But most of them don't. It's still okay. Come with me. Let's see the other part of the story. We got a domain from GoDaddy. We got a mail exchange set up, and now none of these guys will help you do bulk definition 5,000 and above emails. No, can't go. Who else? Well, you need that ESP guy. ESP provider comes in and he says, I'll provide you with a system, let's write on it. And when you pick up a default system from MailChimp, default system rides on emails like this. For example, let's go and take a look at some emails here. I think I should have some here. Okay, email template, our conversation. That's all I have. Maybe Rahul. Okay, just say Plush Plaza. Okay, there you go. Many, right? You're looking at that email now, and our work is to not really look at those front end systems. Anything can be done here, but it has to bypass the security filters. We'll see about the content next week, but for now, attention on the header. Look at this emailer and watch carefully from where it's coming in. Rahul Jagtiani from name, from email ID info@plushplaza.com, via cmail19.com. What? cname19.com. Uh-oh. What is that? Well, in other words, this particular emailer arrived by taxi. Arrived by taxi. Arrived by taxi. There's no harm in arriving by taxi. Yeah, I use a lot of Ola cab and Uber cabs. There's absolutely nothing wrong. But what happens to your branding? What happens to your branding? Branding takes a breath. Branding goes out. Now, I'm sure you're understanding this particular aspect here. It's sent via cmail20 or cmail19.com. What could be the reason? Any idea? What could be the reason? Look at the toiling we did to get that info at Plush Plaza. We got that mail exchange working, email ID is up and running, and now we use MailChimp. MailChimp sends out email using cmail19.com. Why? Use a third party tool for bulk mailing because it's defining that you're using a taxi to doing bulk mailing. Awesome point of view. Good job. Anything else? Anything else? Will it also provide me a provision to run using my private car? Would it also give me provision to run using a private car? This is how far I can go with the private car. You can use your imagination and bring in any best brand that you have, but I'm happy with the Ford icon. Okay, so anyway, looking at this private or self-driven car, which says riding from info at Plush Plaza and not coming via so and so, what should be done? Well, Mailchimp realizes that a lot of people do not know anything about SPF and DKIM. And unless you do the SPF and DKIM, they cannot allow you to have your email coming out of a private car. And hence, MailChimp makes it a provision, talking to the experts and giving them a provision to go ahead and alter that particular setting if you want to. For example, I get into MailChimp and it's not a commonly available setting, so you won't see them right here floating, but you will have them all under the accounts here. So you're going into accounts and you're clicking on the settings and you say verify my domain please, and at this point it will ask you what domain, sir. I want all emails going out of this particular email ID, which is like, let's say Ajitesh had to do this. He will go ahead and say send this, and an email verification will be sent to identify that you are the rightful owner of this particular email ID. Once you come back and say yes, confirmed, clicked on it, it will go ahead and give you all the settings that you need in order to set it up. And look at that, authenticated by so and so domain name. MailChimp will modify your DNS records, domain name service record. These changes allow your campaigns to appear from so and so instead from our servers. Yeah. Instead of looking at via email 201947, it is going to go ahead and give in your domain provided you do the following. Exactly what we did with Zoho. So if you get this done, by default, all emails going out of MailChimp will have your signature and has got nothing to do with any of those domains that they are using. Very simple. See that? One little exercise that you did to create your own domain and create your own SPF and DKIM. By default, you can go ahead and talk to any service provider on the planet and make yourself look like it's coming out of a private car rather than a taxi. Okay, good. That being said, let's go back and see what's in there for us on the compliance. What about the compliance? Well, when it comes to compliance, something comes to your mind. Rules. What type of rules? Well, rules will differ based on country, right? Geography. Driving license in India is not applicable as a driving license in the US. They know you can control the steering, they know everything is fine with you, but they can't give you authority or sanction to or permission to actually ride the same license in the US. You'll have to get differently certified. Why? Well, it's a left hand drive in India, right hand drive in the US. So there's different logic there, different rules applying based on location. Now, cut and paste that exact example or the analogy back again to your email service. Location, based on the location from where we are sending out emails, rules apply. There is not a link in the mailer which is spreading some kind of virus or spyware. Not now, not now. No, no. Go back 10 years down the line and you will find hundreds. You'll find hundreds. And by the way, we did make people want to cry. Just recently, a year back, I think, everybody said, I want to cry. The virus name was also called Wanna Cry. Yeah, malware. Sitting down on the computer, not allowing them to even have access to their own hard drive. Yeah, the ransomware, isn't it? We did. I mean, when I say we, me, and the hacking community, I mean, we did get you inside. But what we did not really see there, okay, no, no, let me take that we out here for a moment. When the hackers decided to do this 3 years ago, they made a lot of money, millions of dollars. Before that, 5 years ago, when they waged the same attack, millions of dollars came in. But what about this year? I mean, like in last year. Well, they collected or gathered $74,000. $74,000. Enough to pump your ISPs, ESPs, and your server or whichever rented the apartments that you picked up. That's enough. I mean, that's all you actually gathered so far, which means the prevention methods are really extremely high. ESP providers were well alerted, well within time to avoid those emails from coming in. But the ones, only one guy ESP picked up and then the message went past. Before that, it was too late for the other guys to click on. They were clicking on it happily. Ransomware kicked in. Windows operating system guys said, I want to cry. Yeah, they cried and then they had to rectify them. Antivirus came in, plenty of other stuff they did in order to make sure that they get back the system back again into full function. See, prevention. And that these are some things that they're doing automatically. Here are some rules and regulations that one should follow. Now, let's say I go back and do my assessment. I created, right? So it's you. So CL laptop. I give you a laptop. What happened? Lap on the top. Uh, I think I changed it to you. Okay, so this is you. This is you sitting down with the laptop, and I'll give you an internet as well. Give you an IP. Uh, should I give you an internet? Yeah. Without that, your laptop really has got nothing to do. Yeah, absolutely a waste junk machine. But the minute you plug this guy in, wow, wow, dunya mutti mein, Reliance advertisement. Absolutely right. That's because of the internet. The minute you plug this cord inside, world is under your disposal. Yeah, you can be anything. You're a super genius when you have these machines together. Now, well, you connected this and then you went to GoDaddy to register your login, and I'm going to put a location here, you India. Okay, India. And then GoDaddy, you will say Hyderabad data center, but if you actually see where it's coming in, going out of US. Yeah, coming out of US. So that's the data center. Mail exchange Zoho, again you will say India, and I would say no, please check again, US. Database coming out of, or data center coming out of US. MailChimp, absolutely no offices in India, it is by default in the US. And there's one more guy that we want to bring in into the mix if we were to understand compliances. This guy is called the receiver. You got to type that together. Okay, there you go, receiver. These receivers are in different geography. I'm going to go change this from Canada to Europe, because that's where a lot of things are happening, a lot of action. Europe. Okay. What is this software which you're using to write and display images? Curio is the document. Uh, it's not a document; it's a Harvard University board, and it's powered by Curio. Okay, so let's go back and take a look at those geographies. Look at them. You're in India, so which means today my pronunciation is taking a beat. I think Q and the Rio, Curio. Okay, now let's go and take a look at the rules and regulations. If I were to study compliances, I'll have to know what rules apply in India. I need to know what rules apply in the US. I need to know what rules apply in the Europe. And only then I would say that I really truly understand what compliances are. Where do I get all of them? Let's go to the encyclopedia and ask that question. Encyclopedia. I'm studying. I want to get a PhD around email laws in. Don't tell me which geography. Just get me all of it. Okay, that's what I said. And Wikipedia links arrive. Click the Wikipedia link, and you go ahead and pick that up as well, and take a closer look at India. Let's go to India and see what is the rule that I'll have to look at. Uh, India, they picked out India. Oh no, there is one. Here we go. None and something is there, but loosely Information Act is what they said in the year 1947. I think nothing has been modified as yet. Okay, so that's the current condition in India. Email rules, especially, none. Okay, so you're completely eliminating one guy out of the mix, saying that absolutely no rules. What is the rules and conditions? What are this? What are they asking, or what are they expecting out of you? Well, they're expecting you to hold on to certain norms. And since there's no norms, I can't show you any norms. So let's go back and see what's in the US. Scroll down. Can Spam Act 2003. Somebody made a mention about this. I think it was Vivek, or maybe somebody spoke about the compliance earlier when we were looking at the permission types. Yeah, there you go. Can Spam Compliance 2003. What about the Europe? 26th, 25th of May. G, General, Data, Protection, Regulation. Went live. What are they expecting? Hundreds of things. Hundreds of things. But more preferably, they're looking at GDPR. Absolutely. Now, how do we understand all this? So, what we did is we put an assignment. We gave you an assignment. Your first module completes. You got to make sure that you pick up all SPF related issues, like in anyone that actually has a good SPF and bad SPF. I made a repository of all of them. I've gathered that in the Dropbox link. You're free to take a look at good SPF and bad SPF. Wherever the signatures are missing, that's a bad one. Wherever the signatures are intact, including the DKIM signatures, you can go ahead and submit your assignment using that particular screenshot that I have, because I'm sure you'll come back saying I don't collect spams. Yeah, so you need to get into that business of collecting spam. That's where the patients come in. And if you're a real doctor, you got to really know how to look at the patient and find out what problems they have. Okay, so you will do that research there using the Dropbox link. The second assignment for you, which is a part 2 assignment, is to dig into the compliance part, looking at US, looking at Europe, and come into the class and we'll dig in more about the compliances when you start the day next week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. With this, we end your day with COP number 1. All you have to remember is COP number 1 and the basic principles on what we learned on emails. That's all it is. Day 1 complete. Day 2, when you complete, you'll be a full complete doctor. Currently, you're only half doctor. We'll see you back again next week. There's a little compliance I'll have to hold on to, so stay with me and comply with that. Failing which, they will beat me up. So don't get me beaten up while I do the job well as well. I'll give you the link here. There you go. Click the link. Give us your feedback. We'll see you back again next week. Thank you. A request to everyone to talk to your respective training coordinator for the 4th week. Oh, yeah. Can't comment much on that. Yeah. If you want that, seriously. And I'm sure I'm going to be in for a treat then. मेरा Monday to Saturday चला गया. Okay, I've already made the request. Oh wow, superb. I will call today. कुछ करो लेकिन मुझे बीच में मत लाओ। या क्योंकि मुझे मार खाना अच्छा नहीं लगता है। I'm being outright saying that this is what it is, but yeah, you're free to do whatever you feel like. Thank you very much. Goodbye for now. Please click the feedback link and request you to type something here. We definitely want to read to see what you type, because that's the only takeaway for the 3.5 hours to 4 hours that we spend with you. Thank you for now. Happy weekend. Goodbye. Hey, all the 19,
Nityanand,
sir,
hello.
sir, yeah.
Can I request you one thing that Curio, what you are using, can
Mm-hmm.
you please give me the link because I'm not able to find it out.
Curio
Hmm.
for Mac.
Okay. Will it work on Lenovo as well?
Oh, you're working on Windows, Lenovo Windows, correct?
Yes, Windows. Windows.
No, no,
Yes.
sir. Not made for Windows as yet, I think. For Windows. Let me see, sir. No, 8 alternate for Mac users for Curio, but there is absolutely no one for this. Yeah, none.
Okay.
Not on
Okay,
Windows.
no problem. Not an issue.
Thank you,
Not an
sir.
issue. Okay. Thank you.
How did we do? Did we do good, bad, ugly, worst performance ever? Um, awesome is all I can say. Thank you, sir. Amazing, fantastic. Thank you, sir. Vivek was my coordinator. Sir, you share that particular feedback to you as well. You did an awesome job. Thank you for helping along. Where's Nikita? Thank you. Nikita, second half you went completely quiet. I don't know why. Uh, yeah, maybe you missed the breakfast. So is Raif. So is Pankaj. Mansi, absolutely. I don't know where's Mansi. Madhu came in here and there, but none of the rest. Shashi came in. Shoaib, Shobit, no, not much. Simurjit, I'll catch her on the weekend classes, so worry not. She's an awesome person. I don't know why she came back again on a weekday or weekend, but I'm in touch with her on the weekday as well. Sunny, no, not much. I'm still here, just listening and understanding. Awesome. Yoshita came in when was required, so I can't complain too much on that. But the rest of you, come on, muster up courage, use the chat app as much as you can. There's more learning. Look at those industry people giving you knowledge. Yeah, not me. Don't worry about me. I will do my piece of work. But the rest of them, they don't have anything, but they are sharing a lot of information with you. Wish you all the luck. We'll see you back again next week. Bye for now. Now, he'll do it on the third module. Or maybe you make him a captain for the fourth module activity as well. I'm sure you can shoulder that. And Mr. Ramakrishna, you also jump. Not me. I'm talking about the other Ramakrishna, Ajitesh. Vice captain will treat. No, I think he was a captain. He's a pilot. I'm the co-pilot. Bye bye for now.